Gebhardt is flanked to the near side. One of the return men, Luca Licata, getting ready to kick the football away for the Dublin Jerome Celtics. And to the far side of the field for Olentangy is Mike Alexander. There's Licata, one of the better ones in Central Ohio. 5'8", 155-pound senior. It's interesting, Kellyanne Jeff was talking about Wade Bartholomew saying, we always feel we're the best team. That's kind of the mentality he brings to every game, isn't it?
Well, that's the attitude. You got to convince your football team that they are special, but he's going to hold them to that attitude, and they're going to hold them to that degree every day.
Licata approaches the football, and we're underway tonight. This kick will bounce, and it's Gebhardt on a big hop, and he's back to the middle of the field on the return, loses his balance momentarily, and stumbles out across the 15-yard line. And the Olentangy offense, led by senior quarterback Luke Chilicki, comes onto the field. Chilicki, 1,456 yards, 14 touchdowns this year, just 2 interceptions. He was the starting first baseman on the Olentangy baseball team that won the Division I state championship back in June up in Canton. And he is a young man who's put together a fine senior season. Leads an offense that averages 362 yards a game. 7-1, the Olentangy Braves, and 3-0 in the Cardinal Division. Dublin Jerome, 4 up, 4 down, and 1-2. First down of the night, sponsored by Buckeye State Bank. Chilicki will hand off, and right around the line of scrimmage, not much running room at all for the ball carrier. That was Brody Mazlewski getting the call tonight, 5'11", 167-pound junior at that running back spot. They've used a number of running backs tonight. Mazlewski gets the call tonight. Andrew Wilbur is their go-to guy, but he's been shaken up over the last couple of weeks. Elijah Wise, and we'll also see Caden Gebhardt back there as well, too. Offensive line's a good one, too, led by Luke Grover at that left tackle spot, headed to play at the University of Cincinnati. Second down call, and this is Mazlewski again on the carry, line of scrimmage. 17-yard line. And Mazlewski gets out across the 20 to the 23. There's that Celtics defense. D'Angelo Nardone in the middle right there, doing a nice job up front for Mark Crabtree's team. But Drew Naudasher and D'Angelo Nardone is a linebacker spot, number 1 in tackles with 91. Has a couple of interceptions this season as well, too, from that linebacker spot. Third down call, 3rd and 3. And we're just underway tonight here at Jerome. Mazlewski again, and he is grabbed and brought down near the marker. The line to gain was the 26.
Going to be about 1.5 yards shy of the first down. First coaching decision right now by Wade Bartholomew. Would not be surprised one bit if they go for it here on 4th down.
For Jerome, they had good pressure on that time and brought him down. It is 4th and short. Let's see what the mindset is of Wade Bartholomew. It's 4th and I think it's fair to say less than 1 yard right now. Chilicki, they'll go out of the shotgun formation, put 3 wides to the bottom of the screen, and they will scrimmage, and it's a handoff, and this is Mazlewski with the first down out near the 30-yard line. So the first down again sponsored by Buckeye State Bank, and keeping it close to the chest, but it works out for a first down. The bottom of the pile for Dublin Jerome was one of the linebackers, Parker Middleton, a 5'10", 182-pound senior. 80 tackles on the season now. Here's Chilicki back to throw after the first down. Has all kinds of time in the pocket and will roll and deliver upfield, and the pass falls incomplete. He had all kinds of time, but there was just no one open to throw the football to.
That's normally when you end up getting holding calls, Marty, when there is that much protection back there for the quarterback. But that offensive line that you spoke of was well engaged with all of the pressure coming from the Celtics. And what a good decision, though, by Luke Chilicki not to turn that play into a bad play by throwing it away.
Second down and 10 call. Couple of minutes into this one here tonight. Chilicki again will go back to throw and throws low, but a low grab over there by Mike Alexander, who did a good job of going down to haul in that low throw. Just reached out and stabbed at that ball and pulled it in. And it is out to the 40. It's good enough for a gain of 11 on the first down. Watch his catch by Alexander.
Yeah, this is pretty good. This is the number 2 receiver on the football team, and he does a really good job of concentrating on the football. There you see his catches, 25, and 4 scores. Well-thrown ball, but better caught.
And movement up front as we get penalty flags coming in.
Dead ball. Ball start. Offensive line. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's our referee, Bruce Maurer, and that flag on the play is sponsored by the United States Army. Uncover your potential, Jeff Logan, in the United States Army.
You saw our lead official down there, Bruce Maurer. I can tell you what, that is a royal name in the officiating business.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's probably trained and taught every official that has come through the program, and he is extra special.
Chalicki will hand off, and in is Elijah Wise. The ball pops free. It's on the field, and Jerome may have it. The Celtics do have the football. The ball squirted loose out of the grasp of the junior running back, Wise, and falling on the football was Sam Pesic, one of the corners coming in. The 5'9 senior, and a big break right away for Dublin Jerome on the Olentangy turnover.
Good job. Good exchange back in the backfield, and you can just see the ball pops loose. And heads up down there. Looked like the recovery by Sam Pesic. Really good heads up. And if Jerome wants to be in this football game, a 4-4 team against a 7-1 team, they've got to force turnovers. And that's exactly what happened on drive number 1.
So they have the football at the Olentangy 42-yard line. Led by quarterback Rocco Lombardi, 5'11", 171-pound sophomore. Stepped in when Nolan Peoples went down back in game 3 with a thumb injury. Lombardi, 5'11", 171 pounds, has had some good games, 13 for 20, 135, and a touchdown against Liberty.
Officials timeout for equipment.
C.J. Santa has to check off the field for Olentangy. It's an equipment issue. So the Celtics will have the football. First down and 10 at the 8:47 mark. First turnover of the night, and they come away with it. Movement up front.
Boy, 2 big mistakes already by the Olentangy Braves.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense, number 32, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Brennan Hoy in at one of those defensive line spots, a 6'2", 230-pound senior. Good look at Lombardi, 5'11". Handoff inside, and ball went into the hands of the guy we featured at the top of the broadcast, Joey Slates, with a good game for the Jerome Celtics, and he picks up a first down to the 29 to pick up a 13. I'm sorry, after the walk-off, a half dozen, so it's still a first down. It was first and short. There's the Celtics offense. See Joey Slates there and Rocco Lombardi. Matty Giantonio, one of their go-to wideouts, had 56 catches last season.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense, number 76, 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's Daniel Stevens, the nose guard, who's headed to go play college football at the Naval Academy. Here you see head football coach Wade Bartholomew a little frustrated with his team's mistakes and focus here at the beginning of the game.
Lombardi to throw to the near side and has a receiver breaking free to the 10, to the near side, to the 5, dive towards the pylon. Lucas Franks, does he get in? We wait for the signal, and he is in. Touchdown. From 24 yards out, Lombardi just got it out into the flat to Lucas Franks, and he did the rest up the sideline. That's another D.R. Horton touchdown. D.R. Horton is America's builder, and watch Lombardi do a nice job of getting the ball in space to his wideout, Jeff.
Well, he does a really good job of looking off the receiver, and then you get the ball out to your playmaker, Lucas Franks, who's able to dive, see if he stepped out of bounds. That is perfect. Got the ball on the pylon. That's all that matters. And what a surprise for a lot of people sitting here and those at home watching it. The Celtics are up 6-0 in this game.
Touchdown pass. And the Celtics have the lead. Extra point from Luca Licata on the way. Last year was perfect. He was a first-team OCC choice last season. Touchdown coming after the turnover at the 8:09 mark of quarter number 1. Snap is good. The hold also good. The kick also is good. Dublin Jerome jumps on top first, helped out by the turnover. Lucas Franks with the 24-yard touchdown reception. And the Celtics have a 7-0 lead over Olentangy.
Look at the fact that Jerome is having trouble getting enough players dressed to be able to have a football game because of all the injuries. Yet they come out here with a terrific attitude at the beginning, and it looks like Olentangy, that ball will be kicked into the end zone, come out and start the drive at the 20-yard line. But, Marty, you got to be prepared to play from the get-go. You know, nobody's going to believe you're 7-1 just by showing up and rolling the ball out there, and that's what head coach Wade Bartholomew is talking to his team about right now.
Jeff, we were down on the field prior to the game, and we've both talked to both Wade Bartholomew and Jerome head coach Mark Crabtree a number of times. I think one of the things, when you look at a guy like Mark Crabtree, when he goes up against a team like this, I mean, he's been coaching for so long in Central Ohio. He knows all the ins, all the outs. Nothing gets past a guy like that. So he'll have his team ready, regardless, injured players or not.
Well, and you and I've run into coaches where they say, we're screwed tonight. We don't have a chance. Mark Crabtree's out there. We got to go play hard, but we can compete with these guys. And that attitude gets right down to your football team. 3
wides on first down. The pass is caught by Alexander, and he's tripped up immediately after making the catch across the 25-yard line out to the 26. They pick up a half dozen on first down.
Second catch of the game. Big target out there at 6'4".
They have a number of those large targets to throw the football to. Handoff goes inside, and not much running room at all as Elijah Bonsu was there to greet the ball carrier, Maslewski, as he got into the hole. They have Alexander at 6'4". The tight end, Jackson Mangum, is every bit of 6'8", 234 pounds. Trace Newsom is a 6'4", 175-pound senior, so they have some big guys to throw the football in the direction of. Third down and short, 3rd and 1 for Olentangy. This is an OCC Cardinal Division matchup, and he didn't get the first down. Well, the quarterback, Chilicki, did a nice job of, on the play fake, sticking the ball in the belly of Maslewski and then diving ahead. And it looks like he did get the first down out across the 30 to the 31 to pick up a 5. Jeff, that was a pretty good fake right there, wasn't it?
That was a good fake. Really good job. And Luke Chilicki is a guy that has earned his stripes to become the quarterback here for the Braves. He's a senior. They really like how he gets back there cerebral in his position, Marty, in terms of going through his checkdowns, his progressions that he needs to. And I got to tell you, running a Wade Bartholomew offense for a quarterback is not an easy task.
They put Gilligan in motion. Chilicki keeps the football himself. And, again, short yardage out near the 35-yard line. The keys to tonight's game for both teams, and our keys are brought to you by Toyota as we look at this one tonight. This Cardinal Division matchup for Olentangy. Their defense, as it has done all season long, needs to set the tempo. They gave up that touchdown pass early on in the game. Their special teams are very good as well, too. Evan Winter has been a guy who flips the field for them when punting the football, allows them to play a lot of field position. And for Dublin Jerome, well, their defense has to keep them in the game and get some big plays like that touchdown pass on offense. And a short gain here on 3rd down as Elijah Bonsu, who's having a good game here to start this one with the tackle.
Brody Maslewski, who was the ball carrier on this play, is averaging nearly 7 yards a try throughout the season. And again, the closing effort in there inside by that defense. Elijah Bonsu plays that outside linebacker spot. Very active and important to the success of this defense.
3rd down and 6 call. We go under halfway through quarter number 1. Jerome with the first points of the night. Again, out of the shotgun formation. Chilicki to throw, and that pass is intercepted. That one's taken away. Jerome has the football, and going down at the 40 after picking off that pass on the run, he came racing up. A nice job defensively for the Celtics that time. Coming in was Braden Sumption, a 5'8", 164-pound senior defensive back, a safety. Watch him read this route perfectly and step in front of this pass and take it away.
Officials timeout for an injury.
Yeah, there was no way that Trace Newsom, who is the injured player on the field, another 6'4" target, had any idea this was coming. Just a violent hit, legal. I mean, very clean. But what a job of jumping the route by the defensive back. And we got turnover number 2 here in quarter number 1.
And Dublin Jerome will have the football when we come back. Second turnover of the night. Celtics up 7-0 with the ball. Jeff, a great job by the safety, Braden Sumption, who made a very good assumption on that play.
Boy, that was
Like
terrific.
that
was solid.
That was just for you.
Holy cow.
Did a nice job of stepping in and reading that route and picking that pass off easily. Celtics with the football, and this is Lombardi. Has the far side sideline down to the 20 and is brought down inside the 20. Early on, the momentum belongs to the home team on senior night. Finally, Caden Gebhardt was able to chase down the sophomore quarterback, but not before another first down gain.
Again, this was not your starting quarterback at the beginning of the season. The sophomore jumped in, and he has done nothing but get better week by week by week at the position. And Rocco Lombardi, quarterback keep all the way, just a sophomore. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the future of your quarterback position here at the Celtics.
19 yards on the run by Lombardi. When Nolan Peoples went down, that's when the season started to turn a little bit for Dublin Jerome. We'll tell you more about Mark Crabtree's comments about Nolan Peoples here in a moment. Prior to the ball being snapped, we have penalty flags, but a timeout came in.
Timeout.
There's a penalty flag at the top
Jerome,
of the screen.
They're first.
This one might be picked up. Mark Crabtree using a timeout. The first down again sponsored by Buckeye State Bank. And also, the timeout is sponsored by the Ohio State Highway Patrol. Remember, it's not too late to transform your talents into a career with the Ohio State Highway Patrol. Nolan Peoples, the 5'10", 186-pound senior, who will play tonight, but on defense for Dublin Jerome, went down with that broken thumb. And Mark Crabtree, who's coached some pretty good quarterbacks in his career, Jeff, said Nolan Peoples is right there with the best he's ever had.
That's pretty impressive, given what he's been through in the history of his coaching career. And, some of the people that are in the know here with Jerome that have seen the entire season alerted us to the fact that Peoples was in uniform tonight, but he's got a big cast on that right hand. That's his throwing hand. So if he gets in, it'll strictly be on a defensive measure. As you mentioned, Marty, there's no way he's chucking the ball tonight with that cast on.
Mark Crabtree with 232 career victories. The last 4 seasons was an assistant at St. Francis de Sales after leaving Kaufman. Lombardi will keep the football himself. Again, the line of scrimmage, the 20. And Lombardi navigates his way for a couple of yards. Again, this game has been played on the Jerome side of the Olentangy side of the field, courtesy of a couple of Braves turnovers. A fumble and then an interception just a couple of moments ago. Jerome with the first points of the night, trying to add on after picking off that pass.
A lot of young people, a lot of sophomores playing on this football team for the Celtics, not because they were necessarily the guys that were there in week 1, but they've had to grow those kids up through the reserves to have them ready because of the injuries.
Lombardi to throw near side, and the pass is caught. Lucas Franks, who had the touchdown reception, left his feet to haul that pass in, but it is a short gain here for Franks.
Good stop by the little brother of Caden Gebhart, Tyler Gebhart, number 34, coming up to make the play. That was the same play that they scored the touchdown on, Marty. They went back knocking on the same door, and that time Gebhart came up to make the play.
Pick up a 2. Wade Bartholomew said Ty Gebhart is going to be a very, very good one. Just a sophomore, 5'11", 172-pound sophomore. Also said he's been a very pleasant surprise, but the future very bright for that sophomore defensive back for the Olentangy Braves. It's 3rd down and 6 for Jerome with the ball inside the 20-yard line. Lombardi is rolling, being chased, gets away from C.J. Santa, will heave this one towards the end zone and out of bounds. C.J. Santa was bearing down on him, the 6'4", 225-pound senior who's bound for Ohio State.
I was really looking forward to watching this young man play. I saw him as a sophomore a couple years ago and really wanted to see how he has developed now that he's a senior and getting ready to head to Ohio State, talking about C.J. Santa. And I've heard people that have been kind of calling him the Andy Katzenmoyer of maybe this class, and we'll see if he can live up to that billing.
That's some high praise. Near side hash will be the side of the field goal attempt. The ball's at the 28. This will be a 38-yard attempt for Licata. The snap is good. The kick is on the way, and the kick is good. And again, Jerome capitalizes on the turnover. They've scored 10 points in this game, all courtesy of Olentangy turnovers. As we go under the 4-minute mark, Mark Crabtree's team has a 10-0 lead here. A little bit of a surprise early on here tonight in our Toyota Friday Night Rivals week number 9 game. Mark Crabtree, longtime coach at Kaufman. Prior to that, spent time coaching at Fisher Catholic, also at St. Charles. If Olentangy is going to battle back into this game, they will have to rely on the play of the senior quarterback, Luke Chilicki. And with more on Luke, here's Kellyanne Stitz.
Marty, Luke is a warrior on and off the field, inspired by his mother, who Coach Bartholomew calls one of the toughest people he's ever met. Now, she's had to battle a couple different types of cancer. Last year on a Tuesday, she had brain surgery to remove the cancer and still made it to Luke's game on Friday night to cheer him on. His brother also has an intellectual disability, so when Dad's at the hospital taking care of Mom, Luke has to step up and take care of his brother at home. Luke has had to take on more than a typical high school student would, but he doesn't let that impact his performance in the school or on the field. Guys, he's such an inspiring young man. Absolutely,
Kellyanne, great story. Out across the 20-yard line on the return is Mike Alexander, and here comes Chilicki onto the field. And you watch the young man. We were down on the field prior to the game watching him just go through his pregame practices and the things that he does to get himself ready. Carries himself like a seasoned veteran, Jeff.
He really does, no doubt about it. And This is a shocker for a lot of people in here, and Wade Bartholomew not about to panic down there. He believes in his football team, and talking to his senior quarterback, Luke Chilicki, got to get things moving. But most importantly, what they've got to do, Marty, they got to take care of the football. Both of those drives
pretty simple, isn't it? Pretty simple.
Well, yeah, it's simple but tough against this swarming defense by the Celtics, and but you can't end those drives in the short side of the field like that and give that team a chance.
They'll scrimmage at the 23, and the handoff goes inside, and coming over is D'Angelo Nardone, the 6'2", 210-pound senior, to greet the ball carrier, Mazlewski. Short gain there for Mazlewski. Nardone, club leader in tackles. You mentioned those interceptions he had earlier this year. Both came in the Kaufman game. Play gain 3. It's a 2nd and 7. Chilicki will roll to throw now. Looks to the near side and heaves this into Alexander, who's wide open near side sideline. Still on to go inside the 35 and has run out of bounds. First down, Olentangy. They go to the air and move deep into Celtic territory.
Boy, it took a while for Luke Chilicki to be able to find that receiver wide open. He was looking in the flat first, and then his eyes got big because he saw his big receiver, Mike Alexander. Quite a mismatch there. Alexander at 6'4", Sammy Pescius down there at 5'9", had his hands full. 44 yards on that pitch and catch.
Inside, the handoff goes quickly to the running back, Mazlewski, and he just goes straight up the middle and rumbles to another first down for the Olentangy Braves.
Going hurry-up offense now. Up-tempo, trying to keep this momentum going.
Mazlewski again on the inside and gets inside, but the ball is stripped free. And coming the other way with the football for Jerome, racing back down the field and sauntering towards the end zone for what looks to be another score, and cruising in is Parker Middleton.
Parker Middleton, that middle linebacker, came out of the scrum somehow stripping the ball. What looked like a routine play that was going to go for 3 or 4 yards.
The play was not blown dead. Watch it here. The handoff went inside to Mazlewski. Middleton races in and just takes the ball from him.
Strips it.
Oh, my goodness.
No whistle, no play, touchdown, and drive number 3 ends in another turnover for the Olentangy Braves. And what has Jerome done? Turned this one into 6 points.
It is 16-0 now, Jerome. Parker Middleton, 5'10", 182-pound senior, showed a little bit of separation there, too. He just ran away from people on that. I think it caught a lot of the Olentangy players by surprise. The kick is on the way, and the kick is good by Licata. It is 17-0 Jerome on 3 Olentangy turnovers.
Has Halloween come early here for the Olentangy Braves? I mean, my goodness. But this is the attitude that Mark Crabtree was talking about his young football team. They have every reason in the world to pack their tents and give up. I mean, what they've gone through this year after week 3 with all the injuries and everything that they've been through, be very easy for them to shut it down. And what have they done? They followed the leadership of the seniors on this team. They followed the leadership of Mark Crabtree. And here they are with a chance for a huge upset of the Olentangy Braves.
Parker Middleton with the fumble, I guess, or the strip is the best way to describe it. Watch it again and just watch Middleton reach in and just take the football away. Now, I was curious to see whether or not Mazlewski's rear end might have hit the field. Regardless, it will stand as a touchdown as Middleton cruises in from about 80 yards, 85 yards on the strip. Well,
you know, it's funny. You look down on the bench of Jerome, and before the game, there were about 25 kids sitting on the bench there that were the walking wounded. Oh, having trouble with the ball on the kick return.
This is Gebhardt, Caden Gebhardt, picking the ball back up after dropping it, and now accelerates out across the 35 and has a good return, as that almost ended in disaster for the Olentangy Braves, who have been in a first quarter that's been filled with disaster for them here early on in this game. With 2:40 left, they're down 17-0. Don't forget, after the game tonight, check out what's going on with your favorite high school football team. Watch FNR Scores on Fox 28. Comes your way after the game tonight, sponsored by D.R. Horton. D.R. Horton is America's builder. And D.R. Horton, the sponsor of our touchdowns in the game tonight, too. We got a couple of those, 3 of them, or 2 of them here, and both on turnovers here in this first quarter. Here's Chalicki to throw, and the throw is low as he tried to hit his receiver, Brady Gilligan. And that'll bring up a second down. The ball's at the 40-yard line.
Boy, coming up and crashing down there was Braden Sumption, doing another nice job in the defensive secondary.
.237 to go in this first quarter. 3 wides, flank to the bottom of your screen. Chalicki out of the shotgun, looks over the middle and has a receiver wide open. That's Gilligan who makes the catch and turns around inside the 25 and stumbles down inside the 20. And Olentangy trying to strike back quickly to go to the air. It's Brady Gilligan with the reception and the first down.
Watch Chalicki freeze those safeties by shaking his shoulders there. They got caught up inside looking for the underneath throw, and a perfect toss and catch. Gilligan with the reception.
From 114 to the other 14 go the Olentangy Braves, and doing it through the air. And a first down. 2 wides either side of the field for Luke Chalicki.
Well, we've been here before, and there's another penalty. We've been here before, and this is where they have spit the bit. And this, again, is going to be a penalty against Olentangy. Between the turnovers and the motion on that side, a couple of encroachments on the defensive side. Those are more mistakes than they make in an entire game.
Dead ball. False start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Luke Grover, the 6'6", 305-pound senior tackle. Wade Bartholomew says he's the best tackle in the state of Ohio. He's going to play at Cincinnati, where his brother Gavin is already there. Alexander with the football on the handoff, and on 1st and 15, he works to the far side of the field. Not much running room over there for Alexander. Watch him take the handoff and then turn the corner. Ball was moved back to the 19 on the walk-off, and he got back close to the original line of scrimmage on the carry.
One of my pet peeves there of many, Marty. Receiver carrying the ball on that inside arm. You got to get that ball on the outside arm to protect it.
Maslewski with the handoff, runs right through defenders and runs right into the end zone. Touchdown. 14 yards out. Brody Maslewski, his 4th touchdown of the season. And Olentangy strikes back quickly. It is now 17-6 with the extra point to come.
Well, you look at the size of this big offensive line, and they just open up a huge hole. Basically untouched, hand over the top of the ball that time, making sure that they don't fumble it. I think if I'm Wade Bartholomew, I'm telling them to carry that ball in both hands now the rest of the game until we can prove that we don't fumble that football.
That's another D.R. Horton touchdown. D.R. Horton is America's builder. And Olentangy strikes back. The big pass play to Brady Gilligan set them up. And then the Maslewski touchdown run, the extra point attempt is up. And Carter Birch is good on the extra point attempt. Now 33 of 34 this season. And Olentangy right back into the game, trailing 17-7. We were talking about the turnovers and how big they are. That's what happens when you hang on to the football as well, too, right there with an offense as explosive as this one, Jeff.
Well, there's not much to the secret sauce of holding on to the football, Marty, to make those things happen. And Wade Bartholomew has got his football team's interest again. I'm sure a lot of them are shocked over there on the sidelines to be looking up at that scoreboard and see a 17-0 in the first quarter, yet they get their first score here and finally finish a drive without a turnover. Got to be impressed, though, with the way the Dublin Jerome Celtics have come out to play tonight. They've been very opportunistic, and it's not like the other team's making sloppy plays. They're making aggressive plays on defense. That strip there, the interception, was a spectacular play. Those aren't just mental errors by Olentangy. That's aggressive defense by the Celtics.
Matty Giantonio, one of the return men back deep for Jerome. Ty Hawk to the far side of the field, and the kick will be fielded by Hawk on the far side, inside the 10. Comes back to the middle of the field, has a little running room. There's a flag down, and Hawk gets out across the 30 before he is going to finally be wrestled down. There's a flag again you can see back at the top of your screen. Back about the 18-yard line.
Let's see what the call is by the official. Chris Maurer.
Holding receiving team, number 17, 10-yard penalty.
And look at the penalty flag sponsored by the U.S. Army. Uncover your potential in the United States Army.
There we go. Just had him got a full hand of that jersey. Official took a little bit of time to throw that flag, but they most certainly called it correctly. Look at the second effort there, but this drive will now start inside the 10-yard line. And Marty, those turnovers, one of the things that it has given Jerome is a short field. All right, and if Jerome is to get in this and remain in the lead in this game, they have to rely on getting short fields because they don't have maybe the offensive depth to be able to sustain maybe 90-yard drives.
As they do on the third series of every half, Bryce Jenkins comes in to run the offense, 5'9", 150-pound freshman, something that Mark Crabtree has been doing when Nolan Peoples went out. So a look at Bryce Jenkins now onto the field. And Wade Bartholomew wants a timeout here.
Looks like they signaled the Celtics timeout.
Was it Dublin Jerome?
Timeout. Jerome.
It was Jerome, okay.
I find it interesting that that's just part of their makeup. This is what they do. They take the freshman quarterback. By the way, his daddy played quarterback over at Dublin Kaufman, Bryce Jenkins' father. And good to see this young man as a freshman following in his dad's footsteps.
I asked Mark Crabtree earlier in the week if this was the perfect fit for him to get back into the head coaching side of things after spending all those years that he spent over at Kaufman. And he said, well, absolutely. He said, number one, the familiarity of the district was right at the top of that list.
I live here.
But yeah, exactly. But he also sees the future of this program and what can be done here, and he was very excited about this opportunity.
Well, he also knows what needs to be reinvested in the program. And I'm not talking about reinvestment of just pure dollars. I'm reinvestment of emphasis of the things that are most important. One of the things is getting these players in a full season weight room conditioning program, which is lacked here at Jerome.
Slate stays in the game at the running back spot. Jenkins will take the snap and throw and fires a dart to the far side that's caught by Giantonio. And short gain. That was one of the things, too, that Mark Crabtree talked a lot about, Jeff, when we visited earlier in the week. He really hit hard on that weightlifting and that physical part of the program, which obviously he felt was lacking over the last few years.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They need to build in. And maybe some of the injuries, a direct result of maybe some of that lack of strength training and conditioning that they need to be able to get through a very physical sport.
Out of the shotgun formation, Jenkins will keep the football and sprint to the edge and gets across the 15-yard line out near the 16. It is shy of the first down.
You know, when we were told about throwing this freshman quarterback in every third series at the beginning of the
Official
game.
Timeout for equipment.
Got an equipment issue over there. I thought it was just window dressing, just giving this kid a chance to maybe get his feet wet out there. But what do? They got him out there throwing quick outs. They got the quarterback running the football. This kid has done him have a driver's license, and he's in charge of the Celtics offense with his back against the goal line.
Little change of pace, nothing wrong with that. Under a minute to go in the quarter. It has been an explosive period. There have been 3 turnovers, and Jerome has points off of every one of them.
Motion up front by the Celtics offensive line, the Celtics offensive line.
Dead ball. Ball start. Offense number 52. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
There's your head coach, Mark Crabtree. Last time I saw him coaching, he had darker hair, just for the record. And he said, Logan, last time I saw you had more hair.
But you got to be careful talking about hair.
I'm going to say it before you do.
Oh, goodness. Jenkins out of the shotgun, looking to get out of a tackle attempt, and does. It has some momentum out across the 20, out across the 25. Was able to get past C.J. Santa in the backfield. Did a nice job of avoiding the 4-star recruit and races straight up the middle of the field across the 25 out to the 26. Picked up 14 yards and a first down.
Well, this moment is none too big for this kid. Good job of reading the blitz coming from C.J. Santa, stepping up into the play, taking care of the football, and now extending the drive, first to go at the 26-yard line.
Adrian Luciano came over to make the stop for Olentangy, and that play will have been the last one of an explosive first quarter tonight here at Jerome. It's an OCC Cardinal Division matchup. Dublin Jerome, 17 points off of Olentangy turnovers, and they have the lead in this battle on Toyota Friday Night Rivals. never can tell what you're going to see on Toyota Friday Night Rivals. Welcome back to week number 9 of the high school football season, along with Jeff Logan and Kellyanne Stitz on the sidelines. I'm Marty Bannister. Jason Bain, who's handling the numbers for us tonight. Surprise, a fair statement after 12 minutes of play, Jeff?
Absolutely. My mind is, thinking a little bit about Ohio State's challenge tomorrow against Wisconsin, a team they're way, favored to win. And I think this is very comparable to this, looking at it. The only way for Wisconsin to get in that football game for Ohio State is for Ohio State to participate in their own demise, and that's exactly what Olentangy did in the first quarter of this football game.
And remember, this is a Dublin Jerome team that coming into the game in the last 12 quarters it has played, it has not had a touchdown in 11 of those quarters. I mean,
you got to play great defense and give them a short field,
exactly.
And that's exactly what has happened.
Team switch sides now. It's first down and 10, and the second quarter first down sponsored by Classic Exteriors, and a handoff in the middle of the field, line of scrimmage again, the 26-yard line.
Jenkins again, we're doing the RPO, run pass option there, feeding the ball into the belly of Joey Slates. We haven't seen much of Joey Slates since the first drive or two. The quarterbacks seem to be taking over a lot of the running game, whether it's Jenkins in there now or Rocco Lombardi, who we saw, who really had a solid first quarter for himself.
Ryan Wisner in on the stop a moment ago, 5'11", 170-pound senior, one of the guys on a defense full of stars. Wade Bartholomew says he's been our unsung hero this season. Has a couple of blocked punts this year. Slates on the handoff and manages to squirt through a small hole and dive out shy of the 35-yard line. Joey Slates, 5'8", 187-pound senior. Ran for 166 yards in the win over Kaufman. Of that buck 66, 142 came in the second half of that victory in the intra-district battle. Sure, that one had a little special feel for Mark Crabtree. Third down and 3. Celtics with the football here, quarter number 2, leading 17-7. Olentangy at 7-1, and Jerome at 4-4. Slates again manages to get through one tackle attempt that time, as Wisner was unable to bring him down, but finally he is finished off. Coming over to help out was linebacker Noah Schuler, a 5'11", 175-pound sophomore with his 35th tackle of the season. You get a look at it here.
Watch the top of your screen. The guy that I had my eyes on right from the very beginning was number 80, Brandon Pedigo, a defensive end on a Division I program that weighs 175 pounds, and he's a sophomore. Yet he is disruptive in there for this football team. There you see Pedigo, number 80. He's got a great upside, but, man, is he small to be playing that position.
Fourth down and 4. Licata on to punt the football away and had to adjust to catch that snap.
There's a holding.
Punt takes a great roll. There's a penalty flag down way back upfield. The punt is finally downed inside the 15-yard line.
Ryan Wisner was coming through and putting pressure on the punter. Looked like he might have held him for a little bit there as Wisner was getting close to the punter. And then after the punt went away, then there was a flag thrown. So
it was a 68-yard kick with the roll, but it's all coming back.
Yeah, it's going to go against the Celtics, and now they're going to have to kick it from about their goal line. I want you to watch the left side of your screen. Number 4 coming in to make the play. He gets
holding.
there. There's the holding.
Kicking team, number 45. 10-yard penalty. Fourth down.
And it really happened after we kind of lost that picture where the holding was even beyond when the kick went off, as the Ryan Wisner tried to get back up and get downfield. They grabbed his jersey, and good call by the officials.
Ball at the 22.
See if they go after him again. A little bit of a high snap that time from the Celtics.
And here they come again. He gets off the kick. So not going to get that kind of roll. Alexander drops it. It's loose in the field, but he falls on top of it at his own 45-yard line. Again, a nervous moment for the Olentangy Braves, but Alexander able to, as you can see him right there,
shaking his head.
Shaking his head like, what is going on here right now?
My goodness.
Coming up at halftime, they are back. It's your favorite furry mascot friends. They compete in the one and only Mascot Challenge. It's sponsored by Safe Light Auto Glass. That comes your way again at the intermission.
been a house of horrors so far for Olentangy with the turnovers. 3 turnovers in this football game. They nearly had their 4th there with the muff on the kick.
This first down on this possession in this second quarter, sponsored by our friends at Classic Exteriors.
Best field position by far for the Braves.
Chalicki is gobbled up in the backfield after the play fake. That fooled absolutely nobody, including Drew Nawdasher, the 6 foot, 235-pound senior nose guard. He wasn't fooled for a moment and crashed into the quarterback and drops him.
Yeah, Nawdasher playing that defensive nose guard position. We're in 45 tonight. His normal 56 number, not in play. But that was a terrific job of getting through, penetrating, and being solid in your tackle.
They lost 4 back to the 41-yard line. Chalicki looking to throw, still looking, will roll, tried to check down, and the pass is incomplete as he tried to get the ball into the hands of Robert Page, a sophomore wide receiver. But is it me, Jeff? They did have that long pass downfield. Over David just like a little out of sorts right now.
The quarterback, I mean, they look a little wonky in terms of just the flow of the play. Like he's unsure, the quarterback unsure of where he wants to go, and you can see the late hit here. I'm surprised it wasn't a whiplash. Watch again. Ball's loose. That's a clean play. But my goodness, he had no idea that was coming up, and there's a run right up the middle, getting half of it back. That
was Mateo Karam, who was involved in that play a moment ago. Maslewski on the carry. And just like that, it's a 4th down. And yeah, I think disjointed is a very good way of describing what they're doing on offense right now.
Yeah, and this is one you're going to go ahead and flip the field. You'll take the punt here, try and get the Celtics to have to go the full distance of the field. They wouldn't do anything silly here, would they, Marty, in terms of a fake kick?
Well, with the way this first half has gone, please define silly. And here's the snap clear over the head of Evan Wenter, who has to race back and tries to get the kickoff, and it's blocked. The ball's loose and picked up by the Celtics and brought down inside the 10. Dublin Jerome just having everything going for them. That was Nick Van Meter who scooped up the punt that was blocked. And the Celtics have the football. They'll have a 1st and goal inside the Olentangy 10.
Oh, you can't make this stuff up. We've seen more crazy plays and turnovers in this game.
My goodness, that snap was shot out of a cannon over the head of Wenter, who went back and did all he could to try to get rid of it. Mateo Karam came in and was there to get in the way of that punt, but Nick Van Meter scoops it up.
Sideline warning, Jerome, they're first.
And they'll have the football 1st down and goal at the Olentangy 7.
Yeah, the punter's responsibility in that situation is not to recover the ball and turn around and expect to be able to kick it. You cannot make a bad play worse. That's exactly what occurred. Fall on the ball and allow your defense to try and hold them to a field goal.
With that turnover, the football is spotted inside the 10. They are inside the Valley Ford of Columbus red zone. Valley Ford of Columbus, where great deals meet even greater service. Lombardi back into the game. A quarterback hands off to Slates, and he gets inside the 5-yard line before a host of guys wearing white shirts with blue numerals are there to greet him. Slates, the 5'8", 187-pound senior, did a nice job of just kind of guiding his way through the hole right there. Nice little adjustment inside. Watch this.
Good tackles in there. Good job of getting to the football. Offensive line doing a nice job. If you look at this Olentangy Braves football team, their only loss on the season was against their crosstown rival Orange. They lost that game 42-14. Other than that, they have been pretty dominant throughout the season.
Slate's off to the right, snap to Lombardi, and he will angle for the near side and is tripped down as he tried to turn the corner. Noah Schuler with a nice job of going low and taking his feet out from underneath the sophomore quarterback. Mark Crabtree said that Rocco Lombardi is a work in progress and wants to be very, very good. And with the way he has handled the situation, stepping in for a good one in Nolan Peoples, he has been able to help Jerome stay in games this year, and that's all you can ask in that situation.
Pretty healthy quarterback room as we look. We got a timeout on the field.
Timeout, Jerome. Their 3rd and last timeout of the half.
That timeout coming at the 6:58 mark of this first half. During the 4th quarter of tonight's game, we will be highlighting the school bus stop of the game. The law in the state of Ohio requires drivers to always stop for a school bus when the stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing. Again, that comes up in the fourth quarter of tonight's game. The school bus stop of the game.
Talking about the health of that quarterback room for the Dublin Jerome Celtics. Yes, you lost your senior quarterback, Nolan Peoples, but how about the fact having freshmen and a sophomore, Marty, that have the capacity to go out there and lead this program with the poise that these two young kids do. There's C.J. Santa.
State discus champion back in the spring. In his junior year, he set a state record with the discus of 204 feet 8 inches, about as far as Jeff can throw it.
Reset the play clock to 25 seconds.
So they will reset the play clock, and Jerome will come to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and goal at the Olentangy 2. Interception, fumble, block punt. It has not gone the Braves' way here in half number 1. Lombardi works over center for the first time tonight. Play fake and rolls and looks to throw. Delivers into the end zone. Touchdown. Nawdasher checked into the game and rolled out into the flat, and Lombardi hit him easily in the end zone for the score. That's another D.R. Horton touchdown. D.R. Horton is America's builder. He lined up as the fullback and then just rolled out, and look at that.
Yep.
Great catch by the nose tackle.
Now we know why he's wearing 45 tonight instead of 56. That makes him an eligible receiver without having to check in and notify the other team that he's eligible. So what do? You just take your nose guard and put him at fullback and throw him the football, and you got a touchdown. Mark Crabtree, you're a genius.
Had a couple of guys open in the flat there as well, too, on that play, along with Nawdasher, and easily in for the score. And it is 23-7 in favor of Dublin Jerome. Luca Licata in to try the extra point. Snap is good, the hold good, the kick on the way, and the kick is up, and it is good. 6:53 to go in the first half. Turnovers and points for Dublin Jerome. They lead Olentangy 24-7 on Toyota Friday Night Rivals. This game has had just a little bit of everything here in half number 1. Here is Licata approaching the football, and the short kick fielded by one of the upbacks for Olentangy, and getting out across the 20-yard line on the return was Jacob Lindley, a backup defensive back on the return, so the ball will be spotted at the 30. Jeff, take me into the mind now of Wade Bartholomew as he looks across the field at Mark Crabtree's team. If you're Wade Bartholomew, what are you telling your team right now?
Well, he doesn't have his eyes covered, and I think that might be the first thing that he might want to do, because he can't believe what he's seeing out there
right
with
now.
the number of mistakes that are out there. But, right now, Marty, and you brought up a great point, it looks like the offense is disjointed in terms of getting any kind of rhythm to what they're trying to do. So 4 receivers set. This is normal for them. Quarterback Luke Chalicki has 1 running back to his right.
Classic exteriors first down, 24-7, Dublin Jerome. Chalicki will go back to throw, and the pass is batted away at the line of scrimmage. D'Angelo Nardone came racing in, and as all good defenders are taught, once he got past the line of scrimmage, put those hands up in the air right away and deflected that pass.
Yep, like his 11 on his jersey, he puts that up there and says, throw it through the 11s. That's a really good job. Throwing through the picket fence. His numbers this year are unbelievable. Number 1 tackler on the football team, and 13 tackles for a loss, along with 2 interceptions.
2nd down and 10. Chalicki will throw. Dump down receiver. This is Robert Page with the catch, and he gets dropped after a short gain. Got about a yard, maybe 2. Page, a good-looking wide out right there. Drifted across the middle. Play gains a yard out to the...
Robert Page was the one that took that hard hit, you'll remember, in that last drive, and this time catches the football in a very similar pattern. Big 3rd down conversion here for the Braves to keep this alive.
3rd down and 8, play gained a couple. And Chalicki goes back to throw, has some time in the pocket, looks, steps up, being chased from behind, now on the run with the football. Far side has the first down and angles out of bounds, shy of the 45-yard line. Did a nice job of just surveying the field and sensed the pressure coming from behind him and turned on the jets and picks up the first down.
Boy, it looked like he almost had a rear view mirror there, because he got out of town right when he needed to. The pressure coming in from behind, and Chalicki just had wide open spaces to be able to race to that first down marker. An important play to keep this drive moving and the ball out of the hands of Jerome.
Mitchell Niamake was closing quickly, but Chalicki felt the pressure and was able to roll. 1st down and 10 now. Chalicki will throw lobs over the middle now, and this pass is incomplete. Jackson Mangum, the tight end, was the receiver in the area of the 6'9", 234-pound senior. And Chalicki lofted that one over his head and incomplete.
Yeah, it looked to me like Mangum broke his route off early. There was a lot of play action going on back there with Chalicki. Does a really nice job, I think, of setting his shoulders, pump faking back there, freezing those safeties, and trying to come up with that explosive play down the middle.
Second down and 10, the ball for Olentangy at their own 44-yard line. They're down 24-7 here, quarter number one. Handoff goes to Wise, and he gets out across the 45-yard line. Elijah Wise, 6 foot, 162-pound junior, came into the night with 181 yards rushing. Gets out to the 48-yard line, picks up 4. So another big third down upcoming for the Olentangy Braves, trying to get some momentum going on offense here in this first half.
They got that huge offensive line, but right now, Dublin Jerome doing a pretty good job of holding serve with them.
Chalicki back to throw, poised in the pocket, delivers, and it's a first down over the middle into Jerome territory, rather, as the pass was caught Mike Alexander. Brought down by Parker Middleton, one of the linebackers. Chalicki had all kinds of time to survey the field and found Alexander on a crossing route at the Jerome 40, and it's first down.
Chalicki now 7 out of 13 for 124 yards and 1 pick.
Again, back to throw, and again, we'll go over the middle now. And again, it's Alexander with the catch, and he drags the defender with him inside the 25-yard line.
That's the rhythm that they're looking for on offense. So you can see the flow of what's going on there. That's more of what is normally expected out of the Olentangy Braves. But it's not just them that are. A lot of this is being brought on by the great defense by Jerome.
Back-to-back 18-yard gains, and here's a handoff inside and rumbling towards the end zone, and going in is Brody Maslewski for the touchdown from 22 yards out. They chunk game their way down the field, 18-18, 22 in the score. And Olentangy gets back on the board at the 450 mark. That's another D.R. Horton touchdown. D.R. Horton is America's builder.
Second score of the night for this young man, and again, a very similar play, nearly untouched, going up the middle. Good job at keeping his pads low and his head high and taking the ball into the end zone. And that was a huge score for the Braves.
Their best-looking drive of the night on offense. Burge on to try the extra point, snap, hold, kick, all in the good category. 4:50 to go here in this second quarter, 24-14. Olentangy trying to battle back in this Cardinal Division matchup in week number 9. .414 is the lead for Jerome.
Excuse me, I was talking right before a series or two about, watching the walking wounded down there sitting on the bench for Jerome, and they got a bunch of them. I mean, they got 22 to 25 kids that are either out, coming back from injuries, whatever. Now, all of those kids are off the bench. They're on the sidelines. They're watching. They're excited. They're part of the team.
Here's the kick, and it's fielded by Ty Hawk, and he gets out across the 25 with a nice return out near the 30, and then gets pushed backwards. I asked you a moment ago, if you're Wade Bartholomew, what do you tell your football team? Well, they promptly go down the field and score. If you're Mark Crabtree, what are you telling your football team right now?
Just continue to do what we're doing. Continue to give that great effort. Now, what's important for both of these teams is what happens on this drive. We got 4:42 remaining. Jerome out of timeouts. Jerome will get the ball to start the second half. So what do you need? A 3-and-out here if you're the Braves, and get one more possession here in quarter number 2.
It's interesting to note that Jerome this year, 3 of the games they have won, they've jumped out to big leads. They led Western Real South 23-6, led Reynoldsburg 35-0 at the half. Against Kaufman, though, they had to score 17 fourth-quarter points, but they jumped out to a 24-7 lead in this game, again, courtesy of the turnovers. Classic Exterior's first down is a handoff to Joey Slates. And Slates from the 29-yard line somehow manages to get a couple of yards out to the 31. We talked at the top of the broadcast tonight about both these teams thinking postseason-wise. Olentangy right now in the top 4 in their region, Division I, Region 3, currently third rather in the region, while Jerome right now is 9th in that same region. Again, with the change in the postseason format this year, if the playoffs were to start today, and I know everybody hates hearing that, but you have to use it as kind of a barometer right now, Olentangy would have one of those coveted first-round buys.
A little bit of strategy going on here with Jerome taking time off the clock, trying to reduce this if, in fact, they need to punt it.
Lombardi with the football. And a short gain as he tried to turn the edge that time. But coming up is Noah Schuler, who's had a pretty good first half in this football game. Good tackle over there.
I was thinking there was a possibility that Olentangy may take a timeout on that one right there, try and preserve some of the clock. Jerome will be in no rush to get this one up to the line of scrimmage.
Play gained a yard out to the 32. Good look at Rocco Lombardi. 13 rushes, 46 yards in the game against Liberty. Game they lost 21-7.
Be surprised if they throw the football here, Marty. Don't want to stop the clock.
3rd and 6, and Lombardi, though, will throw. Far side, and the pass is incomplete.
Free timeout.
Yep. So, Olentangy with timeouts to burn here in the half. We'll get the football back.
Well, they should get the ball in decent field position, assuming they can field the punt. I'm not
the way this has gone here in the first half, you just don't know.
I'm not making light of the situation, but Mike Alexander back there had trouble with the last one, bobbled it. Boy, both teams have been really proud of their special teams.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming after him, too.
3:07 to go in this quarter. A high snap.
Dick.
Oh, and they might have got a hand on that one. Hard to tell. The kick was low. It will take a decent roll.
The officials marking that it was partially blocked.
Okay.
So contact with the kicker is okay on the partial block there. And they're going to get the ball in excellent field position. You can see them all lined up here coming. A little bit of a high snap. Gets the ball off, and there's the contact right there. C.J. Santa looked like number 1. Nope, number 4. Yeah, number 1.
Yeah,
C.J. Santa.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was Santa.
Got through.
Yeah.
Looked like he missed the kicker altogether, and the kicker thought he got it blocked. He went back there.
Look like the ball might have ricocheted off his shoulder, Jeff, as he came racing in.
Receiving team, offensive hold, 10-yard penalty from the PSK spot.
So the penalty against the offense, there's a good look at C.J. Santa, the 6'4", 225-pound senior, team's second leading tackler. Outstanding athlete. We mentioned his prowess on the track and field side of things, being the state discus champion. Headed to play at Jeff's favorite school, the Ohio State University. Again, the score 24-14 in favor of Dublin Jerome. Stick around at the half. We will have the Pathfinder halftime show for you. You will be introduced to this week's Donatos Scholar Athletes of the Week from both Olentangy and Jerome High Schools. Plus scores from around Central Ohio. It's all coming your way tonight in the Pathfinder halftime show. Also, Kellyanne Sticks at the half as well, too.
Big penalty because that ball, which would have been in really good field position at about the 35-yard line. Now this drive will start from the 25. Olentangy, all 3 timeouts remaining, 2:56 on the clock.
Game has featured numerous turnovers here in the first half, and Jerome has been able to capitalize on all of them for points. Here's Chilicki heaving it downfield, and there's another turnover, another interception. Trying to get the ball downfield, and coming in to pick that pass off for the Dublin Jerome Celtic defense was Sam Pesage. Had an interception for a pick 6 earlier this year against Westerville South and was able to snare that pass, which just floated downfield. It was an easy interception, and for the 4th time tonight, Olentangy coughs up the football.
Again, this ball was thrown flat-footed. There's no way that Luke Chilicki, flat-footed, is going to get that ball all the way downfield. It looked like they were trying to get the ball to number 86. That's that big tight end. He flexes most of the time, a 6'8", 6'9" guy. He didn't even go up and challenge for the football. You got to go up on a 50-50 ball, and you got to be physical. You become the defensive player. It's your responsibility to go up there and make something happen.
Coming into the game, Luke Chilicki had been picked off 2 times on the season. Been picked off twice in the first half tonight. Classic Exteriors first down. The ball at the 45-yard line, their own 45. And Slates is brought down after a short gain.
Timeout. Olentangy, their first.
Bartholomew will burn a timeout here.
Interesting that they're taking the timeouts now here in this drive, especially given the field position where Jerome is.
This timeout on the field sponsored by the Ohio State Highway Patrol. Remember, it's not too late to transform your talents into a career with the Ohio State Highway Patrol. Mark Crabtree, 232 career victories, Wade Bartholomew went over the 100-win mark earlier this season. Two of Central Ohio's better high school football coaches. Matching wits in this one here tonight. Week number 9 of the high school football season. Celtics past 4 years were under the guidance of Brett Glass, who went back to the school he came here from, Jonathan Alder, and has them rolling right now again. They're 7-1 this year. They took a pretty good thumping last week at the hands of a very good London team.
Yeah, how do you describe that one?
Yeah.
That London thing was unbelievable.
Well, if London, I've seen highlights of them play.
They're the real deal?
They are the absolute real deal.
Oh, interesting.
The defense the Red Raiders play is among the best of anybody in this part of the state of Ohio. That's a pretty good football team. Packed in that Division III. There's a handoff, and this is Slate trying to bounce off one tackle attempt and gets into Olentangy territory before Ryan Weisner is finally able to bring him down across the midfield stripe.
Joey Slates runs a lot harder than that 187 pounds appears. Look at him here. He notices that play is going to flex to the outside. Really good block on the inside that time. Number 45 in the game again, Drew Nodhauser, lining up in that tight end position.
With the timeout on the field, let's head down to the sidelines and check in again with Kellyanne Stitz.
All last year, and this offseason and preseason, he really dedicated himself to making his body more durable for this year. Coach Crabtree said he never missed a morning lift, and he also did work outside the program, like working with a nutritionist and a rehabilitation program, anything to keep him healthy, and it's really paid off this season. Joey is a total running back. He, of course, does a great job running the ball, but Coach said he's also great in pass protection and run blocking for other guys carrying the ball, and he's been very pleased with his performance this season.
Slate's a guy that Mark Crabtree has said all along, with the way things are going for us this year, it's so good to have him back there to turn and hand the football to. Lombardi will keep the football on third down. Needed to get to the 45, and the pile pushes him ahead, and it looks like he got it. Little extra brotherly shove there. Jay Gupta, the right guard, 6 foot, 279-pound senior.
Clock will start as soon as they get the chain set. So they're not in a panic to run, but you want to be a little bit more up-tempo than what I'm watching right now.
We approach the 2-minute mark of half number 1, and the Celtics have again pushed the football to the Olentangy side of the midfield stripe. In the backfield,
it's like Taj Forrest is in there.
First touch of the night for the junior running back. And from the 44-yard line, a short gain. Again, depth has been an issue, as Jeff was outlining the injuries that the Celtics have dealt with this season. But everybody who has stepped up, Mark Crabtree said, when given that opportunity, it's that old next man up mentality, and it has worked wonders for Jerome to this part of the season and to this part of this game right now.
Okay, top of your screen, you've got single coverage on Remy Althouse. Good receiver, number 20. See if they try and throw it deep.
And they will try to throw it deep, but this is for Giantonio, and the pass is incomplete. Down that near side sideline, back on coverage was Elijah Wise. Was stride for stride with pretty good wide receiver who's bound for Bucknell when his high school days are over, Matty Giantonio.
Trying to get the back shoulder throw here, and you can see that ball just thrown a little too far to the sidelines by Rocco Lombardi. See if they come back again and take a look at that receiver at the top of the screen with single coverage.
Third down and 8 call upcoming.
Defensive back out there, a good one in Jet Cornelius. They like him playing man coverage.
5'10 junior, good speed. Lombardi will throw. The pass is tipped up into the air and incomplete.
Boy, good interception opportunity. Looked like Jacob Lindley playing that safety position, number 37. Had a shot at being able to come up there and get a pick. Good protection.
Yep, bring up fourth down.
See, they're setting up the screenplay, and look at, didn't fool anybody on the play. Trying to sneak out on that end. Number 19, Cole Hughes. Another sophomore.
Here's Licata on to punt the football away.
Well, they've come close a couple times. See if they load up again.
Santa a moment ago. Ball went off his shoulder pads. Here they come again. And he gets off the kick. A fair catch is signaled at the 11-yard line by Alexander. And with 67 seconds left here in the first half, that's where Olentangy will put their offense back onto the field. Again, Jerome will get the football to start the second half as Olentangy won the toss and took the football. Wade Bartholomew, see what his mindset is here, Jeff, with 67 seconds left. Despite all the turnovers and the things they've dealt with, they're still very much in this game, only down 24-14.
It's amazing. They've made more mistakes here in the first half. Now, again, these are not just all self-inflicted. This is a lot of pressure coming from this Jerome football team defensively.
Maslewski is the running back, and he's off to the quarterback's left, and Shalicki will throw, and the pass is low, and it is hauled in. Going low to make the catch was Brady Gilligan, who had that big catch and run earlier in the quarter. They got him in scoring position. Play picked up 5. Shalicki again back to throw. Has all kinds of time. Looking. Now flushed out of the pocket, will roll, sets, and delivers ahead. That one was almost intercepted again. Well, he's racing over again was Parker Middleton, who had that strip fumble touchdown run. And he stepped in front of that pass and almost took that one away.
Parker almost had a pick 6 to go with the fumble recovery for a touchdown, as you mentioned. And, boy, Luke Shalicki looking to see something. And
see the frustration right there on Wade Bartholomew's face as well, too. Looking over at his senior quarterback, just now turns his back and just walks the other way right now.
I've never met a more positive guy in all my life, too. This has got to be really frustrating for him. And I think from an offensive mind standpoint, he's got a huge future in this game.
3rd down and 6. Shalicki still looking. Now we'll zip this one over the middle, and the pass is complete over the middle, making the catch. Was Alexander. Did that one fall incomplete? It did.
That'll bring up 4th down. They'll have to kick it away.
Yeah.
So very ineffective in the 2 drives that they had here in the trailing minutes of the second quarter.
Watch Alexander coming across the middle here, and Shalicki tried to hit him on the run. Yeah, he just could not hang on to that. Middleton with a pretty good shot over there.
Talk about throwing into a tight window.
Here is Winter's kick, and this one will angle out of bounds. The line of scrimmage was the 16. This punt will go out of bounds. Let's see where the line judge will mark it. It's a 20 to the 40-yard line. It's a 24-yard punt.
Not good enough.
So Jerome certainly with an opportunity here with 31 seconds left. And again, the ball to start the second half.
No timeouts remaining. Take your shots, right? Line them up, spread them out, take your shots. Let's see if the offensive coordinator can dial something up. There's your young quarterback hustling into the game, Rocco Lombardi.
Certainly you have to think Luca Licata could boot you a field goal if you get some yardage here. He's got a 39-yarder this year against Reynoldsburg, a 33-yarder against Kaufman. So about 15 to 20 yards would certainly be of an advantage here. Here's Lombardi to throw now. Lofts it down the far sideline, and this one is intercepted. Taken away by Olentangy. Back on coverage. There's Jet Cornelius. You were talking about him a moment ago, Jeff, and he played that ball perfectly and picks it off, and Olentangy will get the football back.
Well, that's the penalty if you take your shots, like I was telling him. You know, you throw the ball up there, and something bad will happen. I feel like we're at the Oprah Winfrey show. You get an interception. You get an interception. Everybody gets an interception. Holy cow.
Watch Cornelius here drifting back and did a nice job of almost becoming a receiver in that situation, while Joey Slates had to become a defensive back.
A little bit of jawing going on after the play.
23 seconds left. The ball's back at the 5-yard line after Cornelius made the pick and went down. Shalicki with an empty backfield will stand on the goal line and step up and run now, middle of the field. And he's got some room out across the 15-yard line before he is met by Parker Middleton, shy of the 20-yard line.
Clock will stop momentarily. Olentangy, 1 timeout remaining.
Picked up a dozen as he gets out to the 17.
Timeout. Olentangy, their 3rd and last timeout of the half.
Again, this timeout brought to you by the Ohio State Highway Patrol. That last play, the 12-yard gain, will give them another first down, and it's sponsored by Classic Exterior. 16 seconds left in the half, and we again check in with Kellyanne.
Guys, Olentangy football is a family affair for Wade. His wife, Diana, has taken their stats for the last 9 years, and both of his daughters are always with him on the sideline and every Friday night cheering on their dad, but also the team. So true family affair for football over there.
It was funny. We were watching Wade Bartholomew when they came onto the field. He does everything. He sets up the end zone camera. He was up here in the press box prior to the game, upstairs making sure all the headsets were working and everything. And he said simply, I can't stand around and watch.
Yeah, it's called being a control freak.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, but he does it very effectively.
Chalicki back to throw now with the clock winding down here in the half. There was a dart to the near side. The pass is caught. And turning up is Robert Page with his second catch. And now, again, there's some pushing and shoving after the play is finally blown to a halt with the clock stopped and 5 seconds left. Play carried out to the 28-yard line. They picked up 11 yards. And Chalicki will work over center now. And will spike the football after the first down gain. So that'll make it second down with 3 seconds left.
And they wouldn't let him run the play until they got the chain set over there. The clock wasn't going to start until then. Chalicki just wanted to have one last shot. This is everybody run as fast as you can, go as far as you can, and I'm going to see how far I can throw it.
5 wides on the field, 4 to the top of the screen. And this pass is batted away at the line of scrimmage. There is Drew Naudasher coming in and just getting a big paw on that pass. And that will take care of a eventful first half, and one that I think the Olentangy folks would just as soon forget. After 2 quarters of play, Dublin Jerome capitalizes on 3 of the 4 Olentangy turnovers and leads 24-14. 24-14 is our score here at the intermission. We welcome you back inside the broadcast booth here at Dublin Jerome High School, week number 9 of the high school football season. He's Jeff, I'm Marty. The highlights might take another 5-6 minutes here, so hang with us.
Yeah, no kidding. This has been a crazy half, a game that you expect Olentangy come in here and dominate from the very beginning with all the injuries that Jerome has had. What does Mark Crabtree do? He gets his team believing that if we can force turnovers, and they did that in the first half. 5 turnovers for Olentangy in the first half, and here are the highlights as we go through. And it started right from the beginning, a physical football game. And here's the touchdown to Franks, and this was the 7-0 lead in the game, and got the Celtics off and rolling.
You can get turnovers and not take advantage of them, but that's the difference. Jerome did.
They did. They absolutely executed. This was just an unbelievable timing play, being up there, right time, right place, interception, and turned this one into 3 points.
Olentangy would try to battle back in the first half, though. Luke Chalicki going long down the field and finding a receiver, Mike Alexander.
Yeah, Mike Alexander, a great target down there. He had his problems later on in the game. And this was a play where we see a strip coming out of the middle of the pile, no whistle blown, and what do? Whoop! Take it the distance, all the way back for a touchdown. And this was when we knew for sure we were going to see everything tonight.
That was Parker Middleton going 85 with the pick and the score. But then back to the air goes Olentangy.
Yeah, they're trying to stretch the defense a little bit. Chalicki doing a good job of setting his shoulders back there, freezing the safeties.
And then here comes their rushing touchdown as Maslewski scoots into the end zone for the score, trying to stay close in this game despite their inability to get anything sustained on offense.
High snap. This is a blown, obviously, special teams play. Tried to kick it, gets it blocked. And again, Jerome is back in business inside the 10-yard line.
And for Olentangy, as we talked about, just trying to stay close, but just unable to get anything going, while Olentangy giving up the football and Jerome making them pay for it again.
They bring their nose guard in to play fullback, and they get a touchdown out of him. Second score tonight for the rushing attack.
Maslewski rolls into the end zone for the score, and that's where we stand right now. 24-14 in favor of Dublin Jerome here at the half. There are your first half numbers in this one right now. 259 yards for Olentangy, outgaining the Celtics by over 100 yards, but still trailing by 10 points.
If you don't cash them in, if you finish all those drives with turnovers like they did in the first half, 3 straight drives in that first quarter where they turned the ball over, it doesn't matter how many yards you had. It's what you do with them when you get that football. And congratulations to the Celtics, but they'll have their hands full in half number 2.
5 turnovers, 5 penalties in the first half.
Okay, one thing real quick before we run.
All right,
I tell you that I check out the concession stands everywhere we go. Last week we ran into cowtails. I had no idea what a cowtail was.
He didn't.
I went down here tonight, looked to see what do they have.
Did you find them?
They got a noodle bowl. What's a noodle bowl? This is a cowtail, except they spelled it Tailes. I'm going to enjoy this in the second half. Sorry.
Can we go on now? 24-14. Jerome leads Olentangy. Cameron Birch getting ready, Carter Birch rather, his brother Cameron on the baseball team last year. Carter Birch approaches the football. Second half is underway. Jerome with the ball and leading 24-14. This kick fielded to the far side by Ty Hawk, gets out across the 30 and angles his way shy of the 35-yard line. So that's where Jerome will start with the football here to open up this second half. Again, 24-14. Jerome with the lead. 5 turnovers in the first half. And of those 5 turnovers, Jerome able to capitalize and get 24 points off of them.
Pretty special start for the Celtics. They'll get the ball to start the second half, and this will be an important beginning of this drive to see which teams, who's coming out here in the second half to play. The tale of two halves. Coach Bartholomew told us the worst high school football game he has seen that's ever been played in America, at least from his view, and I'm sure he feels exactly that way.
I think so. Ball's at the 33 where Jerome will scrimmage. Rocky Lombardi to throw, and the pass quickly to the near side, and it's caught by Lucas Franks, who had that big touchdown reception in half number 1, and he gets out to the 39. They can pick up a quick 6 here to start half number 2.
Elijah Wise from the cornerback spot coming up to make the play.
This is a Olentangy offense that coming into the game tonight, allowing opponents just 211 yards per game, and they were half of that in half number 1. But again, those turnovers, the defining aspect of this game right now. Again, out of the shotgun formation, Slate's off to the quarterback's left, and it will be a play fake to Slate's, and there goes Lombardi out across the 40-yard line where he is brought down. Noah Schuler over there to make the stop for Olentangy, helped out by the nose tackle, 6 foot, 300-pound senior Daniel Stevens, who's headed to play at the Naval Academy. Play carried out to the 42-yard line, a pickup of 3. 3 of 8 in the first half, just 28 yards, but a couple of scores, and he was picked off once in half number 1. Be a third down and short call coming up here for Dublin Jerome. Brandon Pettigo, the sophomore defensive end, 18 tackles coming into the game. You saw him a moment ago. Slates right up the middle of the field and crashes for the first down across the 45-yard line. Out to the 47-yard line, picks up 5 yards, and a Dublin Jerome first down.
Doing a good job of controlling that offensive line, defensive line trench up there, and Daniel Stevens, the big nose guard, number 76, 6 foot, 300-pound senior, responsible for being disruptive up there right over top of the center, but they were able to find a seam and get the first down.
They use 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers in their formation for this Olentangy defense. Back to throw Lombardi on a first down and 10 now, and will heave this one long to the far side, and the pass is caught, and breaking down the far side is Gian Antonio, and he goes into the end zone. There are penalty flags down, though.
They're going to get interference against Olentangy, so I think this play will stand.
If it does stand, it's a 53-yard scoring pass to Matty Gianantonio. And again, though, there is a flag down.
Interference, defense.
It stands.
Penalty will be assessed on either the try or the kickoff.
And the lead increases to 30-14. Here's a look at another D.R. Horton touchdown. D.R. Horton is America's builder.
Look at the fundamental setup by the quarterback that time. Rocco Lombardi, he was able to throw, and look at the bobbled it a little bit. Didn't see that the first time.
Defensive pass interference will be assessed on the kickoff.
Sophomore defensive back had the responsibility, but Matty Gianantonio at 6 foot tall was about over there. And how about the juggling act, Marty, to bring that ball in? And the surprise continues.
I was going to say, you're looking for a sign that things are definitely going your way. That's one of them right there when you hang on to a pass like that. Licata on to try the extra point. 30-14 in favor of Dublin Jerome. This is the second highest amount of points that Jerome has scored in a game this year. Kick is up. Kick is good. It is 31-14. prior to this, their best was game number 2 against Reynoldsburg when they put 45 points on the board, but that was back when they were a healthy football team. They're healthy tonight. 31-14 is the lead for Jerome over Olentangy. When you have games like this, that's a lot of people say, well, what about this game? What about that game? This tells you every Friday night in high school football, you better be ready to strap it up and go at somebody.
Be interesting to see because this pass interference came. Penalty will be assessed on the kick, so instead of kicking from their own 40-yard line, they will be kicking from the Olentangy 45-yard line. You got to have onside kick awareness at this stage, and you certainly don't want to kick it down into the end zone. I mean, don't give them the ball to start there. Let's kick the ball high. I'm surprised they're not even maybe punting the football and try and get them to fair catch it down inside the 10-yard line.
So down 31-14 is this Olentangy team, and squad coming into this game at 7-1, sitting atop the Cardinal division at 3-0. But the turnovers have been huge in this game, and here is the kick, and this one will sail into and out of the end zone. 9:57 to go here in quarter number 3. Down to the sidelines again, and here's Kellyanne.
Guys, I want to take a moment to highlight Braden's law that went into effect this year. The law is named after the late Braden Marcus, who was a member of the Olentangy football team. His family and head coach Wade Bartholomew are hoping that this law will protect other children and let them know that there is help out there. This law allows law enforcement to find people trying to manipulate kids into sending graphic photos and using that to extort them and bring those criminals to justice. Now, Coach said at the time Braden felt like he didn't have anyone to turn to in that moment, and the family hopes this law will help other children understand that there is a safe space for them and they are not helpless in those situations. To learn more about Braden's law, you can head over to abc6onyourside.com.
Kellyanne, thank you very much. And that's such a sad, tragic story, but hopefully something that can help others as time moves along. First play in the second half for Olentangy on offense is a flare pass that is caught for a short gain to the far side of the field. That was Tyler Huff with the catch.
Very little pressure on Chilicki. He's had plenty of time back there.
And again, they will hand the football off. That play gained a couple out to the 22-yard line. And Maslowski with the carry. He had 2 touchdown rushes in the first half of the game. 5'11", 167-pound junior. Those two have been squaring off all night long at one of those spots, Elijah Ponsu and Mike Alexander.
Third down.
And just like that, Olentangy facing a 3rd down and 4. With the ball at their 26-yard line. Chilicki, they'll toss it to the far side now. And some running room, breaking free across the 40, 45-yard line. And knocked down shy of the midfield stripe is Brody Maslowski. A good gain right there, and they pick up a first down. The first down sponsored by Brakes for Less. Ball just a yard shy. They got it just across the midfield stripe on the carry.
Yeah, Brody Maslowski has really done a nice job tonight for the Olentangy Braves when he's had the opportunities. Mentioned 2 touchdowns in the first half for Maslowski as he's gone along. That run takes him to 101 yards. He goes over the century mark here. We update those right now after that run to 101.
From the 26, he picks up 26 to the 49 of Dublin Jerome. Chilicki, play fake, rolls to throw, will step into Celtics territory across the 45-yard line where he is bumped down. Coming up was Ty Hawk, the 5'10", 150-pound junior strong safety.
Boy, and you hate to say it, but the first thing you're thinking when that quarterback is running the football out there in space is take care of the football.
Take care of the football.
Right?
Well, the way that this game has gone tonight, that is on the forefront of a lot of people watching it. There's a high snap that Chilicki pulls in and hands off inside Elijah Wise the carry. And Wise able to fight his way for a couple of yards there. Again, Parker Middleton, who's had a tremendous night for Dublin Jerome, highlighted by that strip 6 score in the first half. Picks up 3 to the 42-yard line. And another 3rd down for the Olentangy offense. They'll give it a little touch pass to Alexander. Steps through a gap 40. Has the first down, 35-yard line. And is brought down.
Boy, it looked like Alexander might have a seam and be able to take it the entire distance that time. Good pass inside. I mean, just a shovel pass. And look at the blocking downfield. Really good job out front by Elijah Wise, who was in there at running back, getting a block downfield for the wide receiver.
Picked up 7 to the 35-yard line. Approaching the 7-minute mark of this third quarter. Chalicki, again, that little head and shoulders fake, flushed out of the pocket now, and manages to fight ahead after it looked for a moment as if D'Angelo Nardone had him in the backfield. But Chalicki was able to escape and make something out of nothing. Got a yard to the 30.
Yeah, he gets it back. This is the first time that he's really had all that pressure, trying to set his shoulders there to freeze the safeties, and good pressure coming right up the middle. As you mentioned, D'Angelo Nardone, the senior linebacker.
He slowed him down, and Ty Hawk finished him off. Here's Maslowski with the carry now. Heists his way across the 25, inside the 20-yard line, and picks up a first down as Olentangy eats up some ground on this carry there as Maslowski gets inside the 20 to the 18-yard line, picks up 16 and a first down.
Yeah, Brody did a really good job that time of keeping his eyes up and his legs moving, north and south running, and it puts him in the red zone.
The Valley Ford of Columbus red zone, Jeff. Valley Ford of Columbus, where great deals meet even greater service. 4 wides on the field, 2 to the top of your screen, 2 to the bottom for Luke Chalicki. And the handoff goes inside. Here's Maslowski again, just barreling his way inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Yard shy of the first down. Needed to get to the 8, got to the 9.
Watch the misdirection in that backfield. A lot of people moving left and right, and they're still going right up the gut using that big offensive line. Grady Hawk, that starting center. Nico Chirpus, Jack Young, the guards.
2nd and 1, and here's a handoff, and diving towards the end zone and getting in is Caden Gebhardt, his first carry on offense tonight, and the All-Ohio defensive standout rumbles into the end zone for the score. And Olentangy cuts the Celtics lead to 31-20.
Yeah, they've got him lined up right there in the backfield, and he keeps his head up. Good, solid athlete, gets it in. We mentioned he's headed to Clemson to play his college football.
Starting center fielder on their state championship baseball team. Snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is up. And it is good. Teams exchange scores on their initial possessions of half number 2 in this wild affair here in week number 9. 31-21. Celtics over top of the Braves on Toyota Friday Night Rivals.
Timeout.
Olentangy atop this Cardinal division. They've trailed night long, down 10, and we'll get set to give the football back to Dublin Jerome here in this third quarter, which has 5:35 to go, along with Jeff Logan, Kellyanne Stitz on the sidelines. Jason Van Hoos churning out the numbers. He's been pretty busy over there tonight. A lot of numbers to keep track of in this one this evening. Dean Marini back producing our broadcast. I'm Marty Bannister. We're happy to have you with us here on the CW Columbus. High short kick, and it's loose on the field, and it's covered by Ty Hawk as the ball hit him in the waist and then just kind of bounced down to the turf. He did a good job and smartly just fell on top of the football.
Yeah, good decision there after not fielding the kick all that smoothly. And Jerome trying to come out and answer that score by Olentangy. At halftime, we had a 10-point lead. Both teams have scored here early in the third quarter, and we've got a 10-point game right back at you again. Quarterback Rocco Lombardi still in control, the sophomore quarterback.
This game important for a lot of reasons when you start thinking about the computer rankings as we make our way towards week number 10 next week. This first down of this possession brought to you by Breaks for Less. Lucas Franks makes the catch of a pass. Short gain, again, the line of scrimmage, the 21-yard line. And Franks out to the 25, picks up 4. Olentangy comes into the game third in their region, which is Region 3 of Division 1. Jerome occupies the same division. Same region, rather. They are ninth, Mark Crabtree's team, trying to pick up a win tonight that would vault them into the position to host a game in the first round. That's why this one is so important for them tonight.
Boy, they got off to such a great start at the beginning of the season. At Westerville South, they win 23-13. They beat Reynoldsburg 45-0, and then in that big game against Kaufman, where Mark Crabtree used to coach most of his time. Oh, and there's a drop ball out in the flat. They are able to beat Kaufman 24-7, and then the injury bug came slamming down on them. and they lost 4 out of the next 5 games.
Lucas Frank's unable to hang on to this pass. Tried to turn upfield, and I think he felt footsteps coming that time. Yeah.
Just took his eye off the ball just for the last second, and they try and get that ball quickly out into the flat. And Tyler Gebhardt, the sophomore safety, has got the responsibility of closing there. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts sneaking up and try and get himself a pick.
3rd down and 6. Lombardi to throw, and the pass is caught to the far side, and making the catch is Giantonio, who had the touchdown reception earlier here in the quarter. Makes the catch and maneuvers ahead for a Jerome first down out to the 35 and pick up a 10.
Yeah, Gianantonio does a perfect job of finding the window there in the zone, sitting down and giving his quarterback a great target to throw to. Really good effort by number 80 right there.
And, Jeff, you really have to like it when you see a senior receiver who can help out a sophomore quarterback with just what you said right there. First down and 10 out to the 35-yard line. Handoff inside, and Slates gets to the 36, got perhaps a yard. Well, we've seen a lot in the last 24 hours of receivers helping their quarterbacks out. You saw that a moment ago with Giantonio with that catch. We hit the 4-minute mark of this third quarter. 4-4 Dublin Jerome, 7-1 Olentangy meeting here tonight. Of course, both these schools reside in very populous districts. Olentangy, one of 4 high schools in that Olentangy district. They are the OG, as a lot of people refer to them.
Oh.
And they carry out near the 40-yard line.
They are bringing the heat.
Lombardi turned the corner there and was greeted as he tried to turn up. Watch the hit coming here. Watch Lombardi turn the corner, and then a couple of guys wearing white were over there to welcome him to the sideline.
And Gebhardt right there. He is a big, strong dude coming from that safety spot. Looks like he took out his own guy along with it. Was that Jacob Lindley?
That was Jacob Lindley who was there too.
Now, any question about Caden Gebhardt being able to bring the heat?
Pick up a 3, 3rd down and 6. With 3:40 to go here in this third quarter.
Timeout, Jerome, I think.
That is the case.
Timeout, Jerome.
They will burn the timeout. This timeout is sponsored.
Timeout, Jerome.
Thank you. Sponsored by the Ohio State Highway Patrol. If you want to make a difference, consider a career with the Ohio State Highway Patrol.
Marty, big 3rd down here, Marty. The way this game has been going, trailing by 10 at this point, you would like nothing more than the opportunity to be able to get that ball back, but Jerome looking to continue the drive.
Dave Holmes, Beanie Wells, and Cardale Jones are your hosts for The Script. It is a new podcast that covers the Ohio State story with big opinions and real talk from real Buckeyes. New episodes every week. The Script. It's available now, right now, wherever you get your podcasts.
Real Buckeyes.
Right, real Buckeyes. Right now.
There's a difference, though.
Is that right?
Apparently, there's an unreal Buckeye. Real Buckeyes.
Real Buckeyes.
How
Absolutely.
is it that Kellyanne Stitz is not on that deal? I mean, she's on everything.
That's right, Jeff. I feel like you need to write into the editor or the producer and let them know that.
A letter to the editor.
Give this girl some FaceTime.
That's right. But in all seriousness, those guys do a great job on the podcast.
They do a nice show.
Very nicely done, Kellyanne. Way to recover. 3rd down and 6. Here's a throw to the far side, and the pass is incomplete. And that'll bring up a 4th down as they try to get the ball to the far side of the field. And it was a little behind the intended receiver. So that'll bring up a 4th down. And Jerome will be forced to punt the football away here in quarter number 3 of a game. They are hanging on to a 10-point lead at 31-21. C.J. Santa, who has been around the punter tonight on a number of occasions.
They're lined up to come again. 10 guys lined up on the line of scrimmage.
Licata gets the kick away. And this is fielded on the fair catch by Alexander at his 26-yard line. A 35-yard punt with no return. Thanks to Kroger Great Lakes Distribution Center. Tonight's game streaming live on the ABC6 YouTube channel, the ABC6 Facebook page, the ABC6 News app, and as well on the CWColumbus.com. You have no excuse to hear the words of wisdom of Jeff Logan.
Thank you very much.
Who introduced you to cowtails at the intermission.
Well, you didn't know about them either. You were as shocked as I was.
I said introduced you to cowtails. I didn't say that I did know anything about them.
Man, oh man.
Penalty flags come in.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense, number 63, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Good hard count that time by quarterback Luke Chalicki.
Give him an extra 5, move the ball up to the 31-yard line.
You know, I've never understood the deal when you got a guy that jumps off sides like that, you take him out of the game. He already knew he did it. Are you going to remind him on the sidelines? What's that all about? Let him play.
You know what you just did? End off inside, and good job of stacking up the hole that time for this Dublin Jerome defense. One of the first there was D'Angelo Nardone. He's had a nice night for Mark Crabtree's defense.
Remember how much time you had to spend in quiet time as a young kid? That's the same thing. They're just putting you in the corner.
I was always the best child. I had
I'm sure
I
you
had
were.
no problem.
I can only imagine. Holy cow!
See, that's the other part of it, at that time being the only child, like the older brother. You know, he wasn't around yet, so I didn't have to worry about any of that. Play picked up out to the 34-yard line on second and short. Here's Chalicki to throw. We'll go far side, and the throw is low, and it is going to be ruled a catch over there. Robert Page went low to haul that pass in. Sophomore wide receiver, another one of the many talented skill people that Olentangy has. There's a first down out to the 44.
Yeah, he's been a high target tonight, and this time, let's see how this ball is thrown low. But is he able to catch it without the ball on the ground?
Ooh.
Pretty good job. Officials right on top of it. First and 10.
Out of the shotgun formation, Chalicki again will throw near side and bounces it in front of the intended receiver, Brady Gilligan. And the pass will bounce out of bounds. You can just see the frustration on Luke Chalicki right there, slapping his hands together.
Yep. He had to throw that ball, Marty, a lot faster than what he wanted to because he was getting pressure right up the middle. It's your head football coach, Wade Bartholomew. You watch the pressure here. Has to unload the ball and just leads him a little bit too far. Trying to get it to Brady Gilligan out in the flat.
Second down and 10. They'll put Alexander in motion. Toss to the far side. And trying to find some running room is Gebhardt. And gets across the 45, but had to really fight for the yards that he picked up on that.
Have to pay attention, see if Brody Maslewski, who was kind of checked out of the ball game here in the last series or two, bringing Gebhardt over to play that tailback spot. What a great start Brody Maslewski has had during this game. He's been solid.
Play gained out to the 48, a pickup of 4. Third down call for Olentangy, just shy of the midfield stripe. Gebhardt stays in the game at the running back spot. Chalicki will throw, and the pass is caught close to the first down marker. That's Jackson Mangum, the 6'8", 234-pound senior tight end. And it is just shy of the first down.
If I'm Olentangy, I go fast right here. 4th down and 1, go fast.
And they hustle to the line of scrimmage.
They'll get the ball to Gebhardt.
4th and very short.
Yep, now they're going to go ahead and change the play up. Maybe try a little bit of a hard count here, but I think this is a quarterback option to Gebhardt right up the middle.
4th and less than a yard. Chalicki will throw. Far side, pass is caught. And getting the first down barely, the thrown back, but it is good enough. On that far side, that was Mike Alexander with another catch, but he was able to stretch ahead for the first down to the Jerome 44-yard line.
Boy, a lot of credit.
Officials timeout for an injury.
An injury down on the field. A lot of confidence in your quarterback, letting him throw on 4th down like that, getting the ball out quickly to your receiver, Mike Alexander.
So that will give Olentangy another first down here in this third quarter, sponsored by Breaks for Less. Get caught up with what's happening with your favorite high school team. Watch FNR Scores on Fox 28. It comes your way tonight after our game. It's sponsored by D.R. Horton. D.R. Horton is America's builder.
Brady Sumption, the player down. Looks like a cramping situation. Those are only supposed to happen in August.
We've been blessed with great weather all throughout this first 9 weeks of the high school football season. Playoffs are just around the corner. in the state of Ohio. Interesting news coming out in the state earlier this week of that lawsuit filed against the Ohio High School Athletic Association by Javier Brown, the wide receiver at Huber Heights Wayne, challenging the NIL. There you see Alexander's numbers, 9 catches, 113 yards. That's a story that I think is going to really come to the forefront here in the next week or so. After a lawsuit is filed, it triggers an emergency vote by the OHSAA's Board of Directors.
You know, Marty, there are only 5 states in America that do not allow NIL at the high school level.
Ohio is one
and
of them.
Ohio being one of those. Indiana, I think, is another one that is a part of that.
Surrounding states.
Yeah, guys, the train has left the station.
Yeah.
You know, I understand you may not like it, but I don't think the OHSAA or any state athletic association has anything to hang their hat on at this stage.
Well, I think the problem is, and I've talked to a number of folks who deal with this, is just making sure that this falls on athletic directors now, who, as if they don't have enough to do already.
Understand.
They have to be the ones who monitor this, and the thing to keep in mind is the schools don't have anything to do with this, but they also, the schools are the ones who don't want their name associated with a student athlete who goes out and tries to take advantage of his name, image, or likeness. You don't want somebody with the name of your high school selling burgers. You don't want that.
Understand.
And that's part of what's going to have to be worked out through all of this. You hear the term compliance used a lot, and that's kind of what this falls into now. Chalicki back to throw on 1st down and 10. Rushes on. He just gets the throw off, and it's incomplete. He was hit as he threw the football, and that probably affected the pass.
Boy, and good pressure that time. He has been pretty much untouched most of the game, but that time the nose guard, Drew Nodhauser, came in there along with
Nolan Peoples.
Mm-hmm.
The starting quarterback who's in on defense tonight after that thumb injury has forced him to give up the play calling duties. And a big play right there. And just as Chalicki went to throw the football, 2nd down and 10. And they hand off for a short gain. That's Gebhardt again with the carry. As he gets to the 41-yard line, picks up 3 to the 41. So now a 3rd down and 7 call as this third quarter winds down. 48 seconds to go. 31-21 is the lead for Dublin Jerome over Olentangy. This one, no doubt, will be catching the attention of a lot of people around Central Ohio if it stays this way tonight. Back to throw is Chalicki now on 3rd down and 7. Again, has all kinds of time, and will send this one over the middle. The pass is caught. There's Robert Page again making a catch, then turning upfield to the 30-yard line, a gain of 11 and another 1st down.
Boy, you've got to get more pressure on a quarterback than that. Eventually that defensive secondary will have to break down somewhat in terms of their coverage back there. And all day for Chalicki to be able to find his receiver, Robert Page.
We're having a big night here. Chalicki with the rush on, manages to get the throw off, and the pass is caught, and trying to work his way into the middle of the field is Elijah Wise, and does do that. Boy, Chalicki again had a green shirt bearing down on him as he drifted back to throw. They were obviously trying to set up that screen right there, and it was almost blown up. And that will be the last play of quarter number 3. Olentangy on the move as we go to the 4th quarter. The Braves are down 10, though, to the Celtics of Dublin Jerome on Toyota Friday Night Rivals. First play of quarter number 4, Olentangy with the football. Here's Chalicki again with time to throw, but no one to get the ball to. He's going to try to get it into the end zone, and the pass is caught and then dropped in the end zone.
Oh, my.
Caden Gebhardt had his 2nd touchdown of the night right in his hands, but simply could not hang on to the pass. Ty Hawk was out there defending, and he might have affected the vision of Gebhardt on that throw, forcing him to cough the football up.
There was some hand checking going on between Gebhardt and the defensive back there, but this ball was thrown up and should have been caught. Didn't look like he tipped it, but certainly, Marty, as you said, he may have deflected it a little bit.
Yeah, might have got a little bit of a hand on it, just enough to affect the trajectory and knock it away from Gebhardt.
Yeah, pretty good play by Ty Hawk out there. 2 interceptions already this season.
3rd down and 6. Chalicki again back to throw. Looking. Finds a receiver now, making the catch and getting out of the tackle attempt. Misses Gebhardt. He didn't drop that one. He speeds into the end zone. Touchdown. Gebhardt hung on to that one, wrestled free of the defender, and scoots in for the score from 28 out. And just like that, this is almost a 3-point game.
So this is what you do when you get yourself down. You call the cavalry and bring all your best athletes to the offensive side. Gebhardt making a difference in this game in the second half. Drop touchdown pass. That's the way to answer, though. Come back and make a big play for your quarterback.
That's another D.R. Horton touchdown. D.R. Horton is America's builder. Carter Birch on to try the extra point. Kick is on the way. Kick is good. And it is now a 3-point game with 11:42 to go here in this one tonight. Dublin Jerome 31, Olentangy 28. Get you ready for the Buckeyes and Bucky Badger tomorrow in Madison. Here is the kick by Birch, and it will bounce and just get into the end zone. And the Dublin Jerome offense will come onto the field with their lead shaved to 3 at 31-28. See how this young Jerome team handles this right now with Rocco Lombardi, the quarterback. Of course, Bryce Jenkins has been the quarterback who comes in on the third series of each half, and this would be the third series of the half. And Bryce Jenkins will come on right now. Mark Crabtree utilizing both his quarterbacks. And the freshman comes on. He was impressive when he was on earlier in the game.
Very much so. And it wasn't like he came on in an easy spot. They were down with their backs to the goal line, and he had the full playbook in front of him.
Doesn't exactly come into an easy spot right now either, does he? 3 wides on the field, and he'll throw. Right-hander comes to the near side. Franks with the catch, and he is brought down shy of the 25-yard line, a short gain of 4. If you're Dublin Jerome, Jeff, would this be the perfect time for those long, slow drives just to eat up some clock, kind of slow the momentum down a little bit?
Boy, you would like to, but, they're going to take advantage of whatever the defense gives them. And if they get an opportunity, Marty, to throw that ball over the top, they're going to certainly take it. And it looks like Bryce Jenkins has a strong arm for such a young guy out there.
Ryan Weisner in on the stop for Olentangy. Now the shotgun formation, the freshman quarterback on a draw will keep the ball. Tries to get to the outside and get to the marker and does step ahead. Caden Gebhardt over there to escort him out of bounds, but not before the freshman beats the senior to the first down marker. It's a pickup of 7 and a first down for Dublin Jerome.
Boy, really good job of recognition here. This is quarterback run all the way. He's just setting up, looking to find that gap, knows where that first down marker is, and coming up to make that play was Caden Gebhardt.
Jeff, you talked earlier about where the football is carried, and Jenkins had it on the outside arm, and you saw Gebhardt come in and try to punch it out on the right side.
You carry that ball on the inside, it's at risk.
Heads up play by the freshman. Here is Jenkins back to throw, looking long, and has a receiver and overthrows Giantonio, who was a step behind the defensive back, Jet Cornelius, and the incomplete pass will bring up a second down.
Boy, that's a good mismatch that you've got there with the big target, Matt Giantonio. And look at the good job by the freshman, setting his feet, perfectly thrown, and just off the fingertips of Matty Giantonio.
Good pocket presence by Jenkins as well, too, Jeff. Able to sense the pressure and step up to give him that little extra half step to throw the football.
His poise is special.
It really is.
And you grew up in a family where your daddy's been the quarterback, man. I'm sure they've had some moments in the backyard together.
I would think. Second down and 10.
Very impressed with his poise.
Football again spotted at the 32, their own 32 for Jerome. And here's Jenkins again to throw. Slings it ahead, and it's incomplete as he was trying to find Remy Outhouse on a crossing route into the middle of the field at about the 45-yard line. So the incompletion brings up a big third down call now for the Celtic offense.
Really threw that one into danger. Free safety, Caden Gebhardt over there trying to make the play on the ball.
I asked Mark Crabtree about his offensive line, and they've been doing a job of giving Jenkins some time to throw the football here. He said that this is a group that early on in the year they might have been asking a little too much of these guys because of the diversified scheme that they run. But he says the season has gone along. They have really started to become a big factor for us. Here's Jenkins rolling to throw now on third down. Will fire ahead, and the pass is batted away. Racing over Jet Cornelius, using his jets to get there and deflect that pass, and it's a fourth down.
Yeah, really good job by Jet Cornelius to come up there make that play. He had been injured earlier on in the season, back now playing full go. And he is a junior. Again, bright upside here. Look at the strength, though, to throw that ball on the dime. And really good defensive play.
Well, he made up some ground in a hurry, though.
Yes, he did.
Didn't he? That was a big play right there. So 4th down with, again, the ball at the 32. And Licata on to punt it away. Now, they've had some issues tonight. They've had no pressure on this kick, though, and he gets off an end-over-end kick. That will bounce, and Alexander will watch it just roll away from him. It will wobble inside the 25-yard line and come to a halt at the 24. And that's where Olentangy will get the football with 10.5 to go in the game. And again, trailing now by just 3 at 31-28. 5 turnovers. There have been numerous penalties. Wade Bartholomew's team gets the ball back with a chance to take the lead right now.
Dare I say, we had 6 turnovers in the first half, and we've had none here in half number 2. Not the kiss of death out there, gentlemen. Take care of the football.
Appreciate you using the term gentleman. Not often mentioned much. Luke Chalicki, the senior quarterback, trying to guide his team to victory here tonight. They battle back. And as Maslewski back into the game and just navigating his way through a hole and getting out across the 40-yard line for a first down. Nice bit of running right there. Got out to about the 42, perhaps the 43. We'll see where they spot him. It's the 43 to pick up a 19. Yeah. Watch him just move his way through the hole here, Jeff.
I was searching the sidelines over there during the last series to see where he was, and I think they were just giving him a blow. 18 carries now, 149 yards rushing for Maslewski.
Big night for the young man. The junior running back entered the night with 293 yards on the season. There is big number 36 again with the carry. Manages to get to the 44-yard line, picked up a yard.
Maslewski will check out. Looks like Wise will check back in, number 23.
That's a pretty good tag team tandem at that running back spot with Andrew Wilbur unable to contribute tonight. Entered the night, did Wilbur with 752 yards, but unable to take the field tonight. They'll put a man in motion, play fake. Chalicki back to throw and zips it to Mangum, the tight end, who reaches over a defender and makes the catch and goes down inside Jerome territory. Inside the 40, it's a first down. That was just simply right there. That was 6'8", winning the duel with 5'9".
Good job throwing the ball up for him to grab. Criticized him earlier in the game for not going up and fighting for that 50-50 ball. Jackson, that was an awesome job that time, taking control of the football.
Ball moved into Jerome territory at the 38, a pickup of 18. 4 wides, 3 to the far side. This is Wise, and he has flipped backwards as he started to accelerate into the hole. Got to the 37-yard line, picked up a yard on that carry. Talking about Chalicki and his poise back in the state baseball championship game, he knocked in what proved to be the game-winning run with a base hit in the bottom of the first inning. Gave Olentangy a 2-0 lead. Their pitching made it stand up, and they went on to win the state title 2-1.
You called that game, didn't you?
I certainly did. Were you listening?
I'm sure I was.
I'm sure you were, yeah. 3 wides on the field. Chalicki again. Little head and shoulders fake. He wants to go far side for Page, who gets behind the defender but can't catch up to a ball that was overthrown. He had him, and Chalicki kind of frustratingly hopping up and down back about the midfield stripe, realizing he had one get away from him right there.
He did such a good job of setting his shoulders back there. Watch him here. Boom, he freezes that safety, and now the ball just flies out of his hand. He had him wide open down the sidelines. That's one that he will like to have over again. They'll come back and knock on that door again, though, Marty.
8:27 left in this one. A 3rd down and 9 upcoming. They'll speed Gebhardt in motion, and Chalicki will sling it to the far side. Alexander the catch. It's a first down, and he is thrown down. Sam Pesich over there on coverage for Dublin Jerome, but it is good enough for an Olentangy first down as the play carries inside the 30 to the 26. They gain 11.
That is such a good play design, because as he's rolling out to the right there, he's got the guy in the flat and he's got a guy 10 yards downfield, and he's just freezing the defensive back. You make the decision, wherever you go, you're wrong. I'm going to throw that football to the open receiver.
This penalty could be against the defense here. Maybe that hard count worked at that time. Look at the penalty brought to you by the U.S. Army. Uncover your potential in the U.S. Army.
dead ball, encroachment, defense, number 8, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So that'll make it a 1st and 5 with the ball advanced to the 21-yard line.
Into the 1st and 5 for Olentangy.
That state championship that Olentangy won in baseball, that created or capped off a remarkable run of state titles last year for the Olentangy School District. Olentangy won baseball, Orange won Division I boys hoops, Liberty won the Division I football title. Their boys and girls lacrosse teams won the state title as well in the spring of 24. The Olentangy Berlin baseball team got to the state semis in 2024. And this is Gebhardt on the carry. Let's not forget our friends here at Jerome. They introduced their state champion golf squads here during the first half of the game. Their boys and girls golf champions won it up at Firestone. C.J. Santa on the field tonight, a state discus champion back in June down at the Jesse Owens Memorial Track and Field Stadium at Ohio State. I asked Wade Bartholomew about that. What's it like to be in a district where the championships are just starting to flow? And he said, what it does is it adds the pressure, but it also tells our kids, hey, we can do this.
It gives them the belief
and
the understanding that this can be accomplished.
2nd down and 2 inside the Valley Ford of Columbus red zone. Valley Ford of Columbus, where great deals meet even greater service. Here's Chalicki with the football, and he'll step out of bounds before he gets to the 10-yard line.
Enough for the first down. Good decision there by Chalicki. He doesn't take the ball and run that often, but when he does, he's very effective. Again, pretty good protection back there for the quarterback, but coverage was good downfield, and Chalicki making the best decision for his football team.
I know you played football at a more advanced level than a lot of us, but it almost looks like at times, if you remember playing in the backyard where you would count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi,
exactly.
That's how much time it looks like Luke Chalicki has to throw the football.
Well, look at the size of that offensive line, Marty. I mean, this is a group up there that is just really, really solid at what they do.
1st and 10 from the 12, and here's a handoff inside. Or check it, it's Chalicki keeping the football, weaving his way up the field, and gets inside the 10-yard line.
Boy, it really looked like Chalicki was going to get stopped without any gain there at all. Look at that big offensive line. Start on the left side. Lucas Grover's over there at 305. Jack Young, 285. Grady Hawk at 310. Nico Chirpus at 250. Daniel Stevens at 300. Boy, pretty effective job. Make sure you take care of the football. Jacob Williams, a sophomore defensive end, coming up with the stop.
Ball's at the 7 where it's 2nd down and 5. They can pick up a first down without scoring. 6:50 to go in the game. Chalicki, quarterback draw, straight up the middle to the 5 and is dropped inside the 5.
That was quarterback run all the time as well. Trying to find that open gap inside and
got to the 4, gain of 3.
Nyamiki on the stop.
We roll towards the halfway point of this 4th quarter. Olentangy trying to take its first lead of the night. In a game at one point they trailed 24-7.
they like the quick throw down here to Mike Alexander. He's in the slot there on the left side of your screen.
Gebhardt already has a touchdown reception tonight off to the left of Chalicki. Play fake. Chalicki will keep the football now, dives towards the end zone and gets in, and Olentangy is taking the lead. 4-yard touchdown run by the senior quarterback Luke Chalicki, and Olentangy surges ahead 34-31. That's another D.R. Horton touchdown. D.R. Horton is America's builder.
Boy, and this was all Chalicki here in the last 3 or 4 plays. They decided to go with the quarterback run, let him read and see what's going out. Good fake there. Look at the defensive guys go for Gebhardt on the play. That's the one thing that I really think Chalicki does a really good job of, is faking in the backfield and how he controls the secondary with his shoulders.
Carter Birch's extra point attempt is up, and it is good. And with 6:02 to go in the game, Olentangy has taken the lead 35-31. Can Jerome answer? We'll find out when we come back. 66 points, numerous turnovers. It has been a wild one tonight here at Jerome High School. We welcome you back with 6:02 to go in the game. Marty Bannister, Jeff Logan, Kellyanne Stitz, Jason Van Hoos cranking out all the numbers tonight. Dean Marini's our producer, our entire CW Columbus production crew. We're glad to have you with us here this evening. Thanks to the fine folks here at Dublin Jerome for their hospitality. We always enjoy our visits here to Jerome High School. They do a great job, and we are certainly thankful that they've allowed us in tonight for what has turned into be a very, very entertaining high school football game.
Yeah, 400 yards of offense just between Olentangy's Chilicki throwing the ball for 254 yards, and running back Mazlewski got number 36 has 150 yards rushing between the two of them. 20 out of 35 throwing the ball for Chilicki tonight for 254 yards.
Well, let's see if Jerome can answer now. Rocco Lombardi, the sophomore quarterback.
Plenty of time. No reason to panic.
Yeah, exactly.
Both teams with plenty of timeouts remaining. Jerome with 2.
And that's the thing, the way this game has surged back and forth like this tonight.
Now, both teams have cleaned up the problem that they had with turnovers. 6 in the first half, 5 by Olentangy in what Wade Bartholomew called the worst high school football game he's ever seen.
First down and 10 for Jerome. They have it at their own 20, and they'll hand the football off. And here's Joey Slates, and he is stacked up right around the line of scrimmage and knocked down. If he got back to the line of scrimmage, he had to hustle to do so. The middle of that Dublin Jerome offensive line trying to clear him some space. Brandon Pedigo was there, one of the first Olentangy Braves to get there. The play will get back to the line of scrimmage, no gain. Next week, Olentangy will close out regular season play with a district rivalry game. They'll take on Berlin. While next week, Jerome will close out at Thomas Worthington. 2nd and 10. Slates again on the carry, and not much running room, or again, right in the middle of the field as the middle of that Olentangy defense was right there. C.J. Santa plugged the gap. When I asked Mark Crabtree what impressed him about this Olentangy defense, he said, well, it's like baseball. You're strong up the middle.
Yes.
Catcher, shortstop, center fielder. Said that's what this Olentangy defense reminds him of, strong up the middle. And C.J. Santa in the middle at linebacker leading the way.
Big third down, obviously, for the Celtics. Clock under 4:45.
3rd and long. 3rd and 9. Lombardi back to throw. Looking. Will come to the near side now for Franks and sails it over him and out of bounds. Would have been tough to wedge that one in there anyway against the coverage. So a quick 3 and out. And Olentangy's going to get the football back.
You know, the one thing with Jerome, we have not seen a lot of 3 and outs by this offense tonight. You got to give credit that time to the Olentangy Braves defense for really coming to the plate and taking care of business. I think they were challenged at that point to make sure that things were moving in the right direction, and they got it done. No pressure this time. Looks like they're going to try and set up for the return.
They have 3 back, do the Braves. The punt by Licata will bounce and take a Olentangy roll. That ball stays in Jerome territory at the 44-yard line. That's going to be just a 23-yard punt in a situation where they needed a little bit more than that. Let's go down the sidelines again and check in with Kellyanne.
Guys, it'll be a big weekend for former Olentangy Brave quarterback Ethan Grunkmeyer, who is set to make his first career start for Penn State against Iowa this weekend, filling in for an injured Drew Aller. I talked to Coach Bartholomew about that, and he said he is so proud of Ethan and the work that he's put in to prepare him for this opportunity. And while a lot of the Braves are Buckeye fans, he said the team will be locked in on Penn State moving forward to support Ethan. And he hopes that Ethan will make the most of this opportunity, but regardless of what happens, he is just so proud of Ethan.
Chilicki will hand off on 1st down and 10, and racing up the middle of the field and picking up close, and is enough for a 1st down. That was on the carry for the offense that time, as Mazlewski with another nice gain there as he just weaved his way up the field to the 31-yard line. It was interesting, Kellyanne bringing up Ethan Grunkemeyer, the standout quarterback who is now at Penn State, and with Drew Aller done for the season, he will be the Nittany Lions starter. When I talked to Wade Bartholomew earlier in the week, I started to bring up Grunkemeyer, and he started to laugh, and he goes, how did I know you were going to ask that question?
Well, it's the biggest news going around, and a great opportunity for that young man that has stuck in there and put himself in a position to be able to make things happen.
And off again goes to Maslewski to the right side and starting to find some gaps now in this Jerome defense and moves his way inside the 25 to the 24. Of course, he still has to pay a visit to Ohio Stadium a little bit later this season when Penn State comes calling. First weekend of November. Well, that game has certainly taken on an entirely different feel, hasn't it?
No doubt about it. I mean, I'll be curious to see how Penn State comes out in this game against Iowa on the road. A very difficult place to play, a tough time to get your very first start as a quarterback. They get a bye week, and then they come to Ohio State, so that should be really interesting to see. And, oh, by the way, Penn State goes to Nebraska and plays Nebraska out there, and there's a lot of rumors going around that the Nebraska head coach out there, Matt Rule's been lobbying for that open job as the ball is snapped back and having to take a knee in the back area or in the backfield. So Chilicki will.
Yep.
They would call that E6 in the baseball team, right?
Well, he was a first baseman, so
well,
E3, that would be E3.
E3
right
All
there, yeah. So they lose back to the 31-yard line.
Last time I checked over at Penn State, Drew Aller's not the only one done for the season. I'll just leave that. I'll just leave that where it is.
Okay, well that's
just leave that alone.
Uh-huh. New head coach or the interim head coach is Terry Smith. Wade Bartholomew trying to battle his team back from a big deficit now. They are 2-12 away from a victory.
Olentangy.
Big question, though, tonight is, does Olentangy make the list on Logan's Heroes?
Now, come on. There you go. You got the Olentangy Orange right there on the top. Pickerington North I've got on this list instead of Pickerington Central, even though Central's ranked higher ahead of them. North won that game face-to-face. Olentangy, Big Walnut, and I think Bishop Watterson will be back-to-back state champions when it's all over and done with. How do you like that group?
That's pretty good. You did good this week. You did good this week.
I get a pass?
Yeah, this week you're okay. Yeah.
All right.
A couple of weeks back where you kind of raised some eyebrows with some of those selections. But tonight, you did a pretty good job tonight.
There's a couple others that are out there just to pay attention to.
Uh-huh.
Columbus East and Linden, all right, are going to play in week number 10. That is going to be an interesting game. I think 8-1 and 9-0, if I'm not mistaken, between those two.
Yep.
And that should be pretty interesting. Olentangy will finish their season against Berlin. Pickerington North has Gahanna, and Liberty plays Orange. How about that for a showdown?
And we talked about Liberty at the half and the way that they're just kind of finding themselves right now at the right time of the year, the defending state champs, and they're rolling right along right now. 2:12 to go in the game here. Chilicki backpedals to throw, dumps it over the middle, and the pass is caught by Gilligan, and he manages to make his way inside the 30, shy of the 25-yard line where he is brought down. Brady Gilligan, 6 foot, 165-pound senior, coming over to make the stop.
Dangerous, slow, and long developing screenplay, trying to get that set up.
Left Gilligan out on an island there in the middle.
Don't let the clock continue to run down. I heard it. Gilligan's Island, yes.
We
got Logan's Heroes and Gilligan's Island all in the same show tonight.
It's almost like Nick at Night here in the booth tonight.
There you go. Well, we'll see what happens now. They'll let the clock run all the way down before they will take a timeout here. And then, I don't think you're in field goal range. You're certainly in 4-down territory, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And then trust your defense.
Time
to take a look at tonight's school bus stop of the game. Always stop for a school bus when the stop arm and the red lights are flashing. Not stopping or beating the stop arms puts lives at risk and can result in large fines, points on your license, as well as license suspension.
This is the school bus stop of the game. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
Maslewski again on the inside and gets inside, but the ball is stripped free. And coming the other way with the football for Jerome, racing back down the field and sauntering towards the end zone for what looks to be another score, and cruising in is Parker Middleton.
This is the school bus stop of the game. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
Olentangy talking strategy there across the way. Right in the middle of the mess is the quarterback, Luke Chilicki, and his head football coach, Wade Bartholomew. Just do not want to make a silly turnover here with a pick six or anything. I think, from a running back standpoint, we'll see if they've got Maslewski in the game or maybe Gebhardt. Looks like Gebhardt is in there alongside with Chilicki?
Yeah, he's been in most of these type of situations here in the second half, Jeff. Certainly one of your better athletes, one of your senior leaders. Not that Maslewski hasn't been able to carry the mail tonight. He has certainly done that. Back to throw is Chilicki now off the back foot, logs this one towards the end zone, and it's incomplete. On 4th and 6, trying to get it to Alexander, and with 81 seconds left, Jerome will get the football back.
Boy, they had a touchdown.
They did.
They had a touchdown.
The back foot throw, watch that, as he a little off balance when he heaved it, and that was so close.
Boy, Mike Alexander had quite a night tonight. I think we saw earlier in the night he had 9 catches in the game. Now he's got 10 for 124 yards. Big night for him, but that would have been one to remember.
A chance for Dublin Jerome. 1:20 to go in the game. Lombardi to throw, near side, and the throw is low as he was trying to get it to Giantonio.
Incomplete.
In the line of scrimmage is the 27. If you're Mark Crabtree, with the way things have been going for you, all you would have asked for in a game like this, Jeff, is to have a chance in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. And, you know, they led in this game 24-7. They're undermanned from the get-go. We talked about all the injuries that this team has gone through. They have 22 guys on the roster that are either out or on their way back from injury. All you got to do is look at the sideline and look at the number of jerseys down there without shoulder pads.
Lombardi rolling, hit, and dropped in the backfield. Racing in that time was one of those defensive ends, Brandon Pedigo, the 6'4", 175-pound sophomore, got to the quarterback and drops him for a loss.
Again, you're asking your quarterback to do an awful lot here. Offensive line trying to hold him back, and that pressure coming right up the middle. Brandon Pedigo, the sophomore, 6'4", $175. You're too small to play that position. Yet you're in there excelling at a very high level. The coaches talked about that. There's no reason in the world this kid should be able to play that defensive end at his size. But at 6'4", 175, I got a feeling, Marty, we see him in another year or two. That's 6'4", 215.
We have this timeout on the field brought to you by the Ohio State Highway Patrol, and we are 65 seconds away from yet another presentation of the Orb. There it stands and waits.
How picturesque is that? And we will be delivering it to a pile of players, either in, what is the green they call that?
Forest green.
Forest green, or in the white of Olentangy. The OG Olentangy.
The OG Olentangy. 1:05 to play. The play lost 11 on the tackle for a loss by Pedigo, so it's 3rd and 21, the ball back to the 16-yard line. 4 wides on the field for the Celtics. Lombardi set up a little flare to the near side. Here Slate's trying to find some running room. Gebhardt's there to grab him and helped out by C.J. Sandel. They finish him off. Numbers 1 and 2 come in for the big play.
Those are 2 young men that will be playing at the Division I level next season. One Ohio State Buckeye and one that got himself confused and is going to Clemson. But 2 great plays by these athletes, and really they were set up watching for that screenplay, and both of them at linebacker and at that safety spot were spying the quarterback, just keeping their eyes on. 4th down, Marty, this is it.
Number 2, Gebhardt leads the team in tackles. Number 1, Santa is second in tackles. 4th down and long. The throw, the pass, incomplete. And Olentangy with no flags down will get the football back. Jed Cornelius was on coverage with 21 seconds left, and Olentangy is going to rally back and win a hard-fought game here tonight with 21 seconds left as they knock off, or in the process of getting ready to knock off, the Celtics of Dublin Jerome. Here's our play of the game. Luke Chilicki diving into the end zone for the score. Our Middlefield Banking Company play of the game tonight. And we've had a number of huge plays in this one this evening. And that one was the one that turned the tide in the game. And again, brought to you by Middlefield Banking Company.
Again, Jerome led in this ball game 24-7 at one point in time. 5 turnovers in the first half for the Olentangy Braves. And they're going to come away with a hard-earned but very fortunate win against a terrifically and well-prepared, well-coached Celtic team.
I think that's something that...
Timeout. Olentangy. That's their 3rd and last timeout.
Braves will use their last time out, and I think when you look at why certain people take certain jobs. Mark Crabtree was brought in here to make this program in his mind and what he wants it to be. It starts with defense. It starts with being physical, and they proved tonight they're not there yet, but they're going to get there. I don't think anybody doubts that.
Well, to what they were able to achieve tonight against a very first-class team, to be able to hang in this game, lead like they did, there's no reason that any of these guys should hang their heads tonight. This was a terrific effort by Jerome, and I think Olentangy can feel lucky to be heading back to their area with a win tonight, because this was not one that smelled very good to the coach.
Well, sometimes you have to have those, though.
You do.
You
learn how to win ugly.
Find your way through something like this, and they were able to do that tonight. Down to a knee, Chalicki, and that will do it. And the Olentangy Braves take a big step towards finishing in the top 4 in Region 3 of Division 1 and winning the Cardinal Division Championship. As tonight, they will knock off Dublin Jerome. It was far from easy tonight. Wade Bartholomew's team managed to rally. Two coaches have great respect for one another. They were talking prior to the game at midfield. And these two football teams put on a pretty good show here tonight, with Olentangy rallying for the victory again by the final score of 35-31. Here this evening with the victory, Olentangy goes to 8-1, 4-0 in the Ohio Capital Conference Cardinal Division. The Celtics of Dublin Jerome slide to 4-5 and 1-3 in the OCC Cardinal. Again, next week, Olentangy will close out regular season play by hosting Berlin, while the Celtics will go on the road and finish up at Thomas Worthington. Still very much in the play for a playoff spot, Dublin Jerome. In fact, they're pretty well confident that they are going to be one of the top 12 in their region. They were hoping, though, a victory would propel them towards perhaps getting a first-round home game. See how all that plays itself out. But this is a football team in Dublin Jerome that I think certainly the future is very bright for this program, and certainly the future this season very bright for this Olentangy squad as well, too.
No question about it. The fact that they've modified the playoffs down to 12 teams, I think, is the right decision by the OHSAA. And I think that Dublin Jerome, they'll get more guys healthy. And I think they will be a dangerous first-round matchup for somebody. The way that they're playing right now. I love the fact that they've got some depth at quarterback with a sophomore and a freshman. Here are the numbers for tonight. Nearly 500 yards of total offense for the Braves compared to nearly 200 yards for the Celtics. Those turnovers all occurred in the first half, believe it or not. But look at the balance between rushing, Marty, and passing for the Braves.
And you outgain your opponent by 300 yards and have to score late in the fourth quarter to win. Again, the turnovers played such a big role in all of that. Kellyanne Stitz is amongst a very happy group of Olentangy Braves.
Coach Bartholomew, congratulations on the win tonight against an inspired Jerome team. I'm sure that first half did not go the way that you would envision, but your team responded and battled back through that adversity. What does it say about this group?
It says a tremendous lot. Our defense keeping us in the game in the first half, unbelievable. Big play to start it. We never lost our composure offensively. We found it in the second half. Couldn't say any more than how proud I am of this group. This is the first real adversity we faced all year since week 3, and they handled it tremendously.
What did you learn about your group through that adversity tonight?
We're a brotherhood. We're going to stick together. Offense, defense, doesn't matter. Special teams, we're always going to be together.
Your quarterback, Luke Chalicki, it took some time to find some rhythm in that second half, struggling in the first half, but he remained calm the entire time. What does that say about him as a quarterback?
That's Luke. I mean, these guys know that, right? You're never going to get Luke too high. You're never going to get him too low. I said this earlier, but that state championship run in baseball has really gave him that confidence that no matter what happens, he's ready to play ball.
Well, congratulations, Coach. I'm going to present you guys with the orbs tonight. Yeah, go ahead and take it.
Olentangy with the come-from-behind victory again by the final of 35-31 over Dublin Jerome. That will do it for this edition of Toyota's Friday Night Rivals, presented to you by D.R. Horton. We're back next Friday for our final Friday of the season on the CW Columbus as Dublin Kaufman travels to Hilliard Bradley. On behalf of Jeff Logan, Kellyanne Stitz, Jason Van Hoos, our producer Dean Marini, and our sensational CW Columbus crew, I'm Marty Bannister saying thanks so much for being with us here this evening. And again, the final score, Olentangy rallies in a turnover-filled game to battle back and beat Dublin Jerome by the final of 35-31. So long, everyone, from Jerome High School.
Tonight's broadcast of Toyota's Friday Night Rivals, presented by D.R. Horton, is sponsored by these businesses: